It's been 30 years of joyfulness. Hello and welcome to the news at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and hits 103.9 FM here in Accra. In Kumasi, we are on Love 99.5 FM as well as all 16 regions of Ghana. You'll also find us on myjoyonline.com, on YouTube, on X Spaces, and on Facebook. Coming up, lawyer for embattled Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu justifies call for the removal of 2 empaneled judges, deciding her fate as they file a fresh case at the Supreme Court to stop the process. Also, the National Labour Commission orders university staff unions to immediately call off what they describe. We are sorry for that. Also, the National Labour Commission orders university staff unions to immediately call off what they describe as unlawful strike before negotiations can resume. What's up in business, Darrell?
And coming up later in business, Ghana Stock Exchange records over 30% growth, emerging as the best securities market in the West African region in the first quarter of 2025. Details on the Joy Business Report.
I am Hannah Odame with the details. Thanks for choosing us. We are Joy News. We are independent, fearless, and credible. Now let's start off with lawyer for the embattled Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu. They have justified their call for the removal of 2 empaneled judges, deciding her fate. In an action filed at the Apex Court yesterday, the suspended CJ asked the Supreme Court to stop the committee from proceeding with the inquiry and also wants the 2 judges on the committee stopped from participating. The former Attorney General Godfred Dami is lawyer for the CJ in this latest suits.
This whole process is unconstitutional. There must be a careful look at it, and the democratic credentials of the nation are clearly endangered by a continuation of the process. How can persons, with all respect, Justice Paman is one person that I respect a lot, but how can it be that Justice Paman will give 4 judgments in favor of one of the petitioners in the matter and be appointed as the chairman of this committee? And it is not only one matter. Apparently, it's actually two of the petitioners. He also sat on all of the cases involving the police officer, who is also a petitioner in this matter. So clearly, the whole process is really all kinds of unconstitutionality and leading with people who are afflicted by conflict of interest.
Well, Godfred Dami also explains, unlike the other lawyers who are arguing for the petitioners, his involvement in the case is not political.
If there is any group of people who have politicized this process, it is the NDC government. Look at the band of lawyers representing the petitioners. Mr. Tashishikata, Mr. Tadosori. If there's any Attorney General who, right from his appointment, has stood up for the judiciary and has spoken against attacks on the independence of the judiciary, it is myself. That indeed the action I have taken is consistent with all actions I've taken right from the first day I was even appointed as Attorney General.
Meanwhile, the former director of the Ghana School of Law, Kojo Yankson, has described the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu's legal attempt to halt her removal process as unconstitutional and very worrying.
This is a very worrying unfolding story that the Chief Justice will seek to stop a constitutional process. It will simply not bite. So what the lawyers are doing at the moment and what the Chief Justice herself has done is to back, but cannot bite. If the former Attorney General is the Chief Justice's lawyer, the whole thing is now turning into politics.
Let's turn our attention to Labour, as the National Labour Commission has ordered 3 university staff unions, the Senior Staff Association Universities of Ghana, the Technical University Administrators Association of Ghana, and the Federation of Universities Senior Staff Association of Ghana to immediately call off their ongoing strike. According to the NLC, the directive is in line with its powers under Section 139, Clause 1D of the Labour Act 2003 Act 651. The Commission summoned summoned both union and government representatives to a hearing on the 21st of May. However, it was revealed during the meeting the unions had defied an earlier directive to suspend the strike pending resolution. Well, my colleague Daryl Kwao joins me in the studio with more details of NLC's statement. What else does it say, Daryl?
Hannah, the unions said they had earlier served the commission with a notice of intention to embark on an industrial action on May 12th. This followed the government's alleged failure to implement agreed conditions of service signed on November 12, 2024. In response, the NLC summoned all parties, including representatives from the Ministry of Finance, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, and the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to a hearing scheduled for May 21, 2025. However, according to the NLC, the unions disregarded its directive to suspend the planned strike action whilst negotiations were ongoing. The commission stated, quote, "The complainant unions have flouted this directive," referencing a press release issued by the unions on the same day of the hearing, which confirmed their decision to embark on an indefinite strike. Hannah.
And we'll be following this developing story. Thank you very much, Daryl Kwao. Now, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly is set to deploy a 24-hour security task force within the metropolis to prevent traders and squatters who've been sacked from returning. The Assembly says this is part of efforts to sustain the gains made from the ongoing exercise. Let's hear from the District Environmental Health Officer and a member of the AMA task force undertaking the decongestion exercise, Joseph Asintaga.
The Assembly also have city guards who we are also going to deploy them early morning 5 a.m. They will also be there to ensure that nobody gets back to the bus stop to carry out any trading activity there. Apart from there, all other areas that we have marked and give them area to operate, not to trespass the red line. So with the security measures to sustain it, it has already been put in place, and you will never see this terrorist operation at that particular place.
Two other stories, and the Ghana Immigration Service is facing backlash from both local and international human rights groups over its recent mass arrest of over 2,000 undocumented migrants, mostly women and children. The groups have criticized the Immigration Service for not approaching the operation in a humane manner. Let's hear from Country Director of Amnesty International, Genevieve Partington.
It can be traumatizing to be picked up from the streets by officials, especially when you're a young child, separated from your mother, because I hear some of them were picked up and their parents or caregivers were not around. Are they receiving the psychological support they need? Is Ghana Immigration engaging with social welfare or Ministry of Gender to ensure that these migrants that were picked up, they have the right support?
So according to the ECOWAS protocol on the free movement of people, West African nationals ought to have the right to residence and establishment. Director of Free Movement at the ECOWAS Commission, Albert Boateng, is therefore asking the immigration authorities across the sub-region to protect and keep migrants safe.
Once you're a community citizen, move into another member state, you ensure that you report to your high commission or embassy located in that particular member state for them to take immigration responsibility over you. Right of residence, right of establishment, there are some contentions based on some national laws. And basically, these are conversations we are still having with member states to ensure that it aligns with, what the overall protocol of free movement of persons and migration states.
You heard Albert Boateng, he's Director of Free Movement at the ECOWAS Commission. The Parliamentary Select Committee on Gender, Children and Social Protection has made a disturbing discovery where children with special needs are being cared for by untrained workers in some shelters in the national capital, Accra. This was revealed during the committee's tour of shelters for abused victims and street children. Chairperson of the committee, Helen Ntosu, who attributed the plight of the shelters to lack of resources to be donated to them by the Social Welfare Department, also noted immediate steps will be taken to ensure that the children, especially those with special needs, receive the needed care and protection they deserve.
The state, the police, social welfare, bring these children to them. So if the state is giving children with learning disabilities, children who do not have homes, to a private entity, then it means that you've got to resource them. If you don't resource them and you keep sending the children, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, you don't go for the children, where are they going to get resources to be able to take care of these children?
You heard there Helen Intoso. She's chairperson of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Gender, Children and Social Protection. And that's all for the news at 6 this morning. With me, Hannah Odami. Thanks for joining us from across our various affiliates. Darrell Kwa will come back with the business news on the Super Morning Show. Do enjoy your morning.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Ugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
See, your rich auntie gets more from Absa. Your childhood friend gets more from Absa. Your favorite uncle gets more from Absa. Your roommates cry gets more from Absa. Digital solutions get more from Absa. Rewards be bring get more from Absa. 5-star treatment get more from Absa. Preferential rates get more from Absa. Easy banking and no ane Absa. Instant loans and no ane Absa. Bank papa party and no ane Absa. NTK account and get more from Absa. Yes! Join thousands of Absa customers enjoying priority treatment, preferential rates, amazing rewards, and seamless digital solutions to help you write the next big chapter of your story. Sign up for an Absa account today and get more. Your story matters. Absa.
Your family's health should never be a worry, no matter where you are in the world. Are you a Ghanaian in the diaspora, a foreign resident in Ghana, or a Ghanaian looking for the perfect health insurance plan for yourself or your family in Ghana? Then the Apex Ebusiapa health cover is what you need. A comprehensive health insurance plan to protect your loved ones. From hospital stays to life-saving treatments, we ensure quality healthcare at an affordable cost. Apex Ebusiapa health cover. You don't just send love home, you secure it. Visit Apex Health Insurance at Zion House, Boundary Road, Shashi East Legon, or call 0540-128-256 or 0501-683912. Apex Ebusiapa Health Plan. Global love, local care.
Brush your teeth every day and night, up and down and all around. Brush the clean and bright. Brush your teeth. Brush with mom and dad. Underneath and in between, brush the germs away.
Pepsodent, cavity protection.
This
advert is FDA approved.
Reliable, check. Comfort, check. Strong, check. Tough, check. Tried and tested, check. Affordable, check. Comes in so many colors and sizes, check. Suitable for domestic and industrial use, check. Choose quality, choose Syntex Tank. Available nationwide and comes with 7-year warranty. And remember, Syntex Tank is a caring brand too. Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough.
The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair 2025. Dream it. Own it. Live it. Coming soon.
What's your dream this year? To pull up in a brand new 4-wheel ride? Or you want to travel? Where? Sentosa Island in Singapore? Or Desert Safari in Dubai? Or you want a laptop, microwave, brand new phone, TV, chale, what you want, you can get with SG Ghana. Minya Ubecha 7Y. Join the SG Ghana Deposit and Drive promo and you could win the grand prize of a brand new Toyota RAV4. Simply deposit 500 Ghana cedis or multiples of it into your SG Ghana account from now till 30th May 2025. Non-customers can open an account to participate. Visit your nearest branch or call 0302-214-314 for further inquiries. This promo is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
Bavu. Hey, good morning, Kojo. How are you doing?
Media deal. I'm not as good as the MPs, but I'm good. So, it's around that time of the year, 5 months into a new government, where, the loans are coming. Yeah. The cars are being bought.
Totally.
And this trip now, what they like is the Lexus. LX 570, LX 600, those cars. If you go to Spintex Road, you're talking some $250,000.
Charlie. 250,000.
Yes. But why are you worried? If you're an MP, you can get a loan where you will only have to pay back 40% of the loan. The government, and when I say the government, I mean you Daryl Kwao. You will pay back 60%. You will also pay back the interest.
Wow.
The MP has to pay only 40% of the loan.
What does it take to become an MP again?
Oh, and by the way, if you are importing the car into the country, tier rubber fresh, no import duty.
That's cool.
Isn't that nice?
It's nice.
Then the government will pay your rent. So where were you living before you became an MP? You are MP for Lejokuku Kurowo.
That was just an example.
Yes, this is an example. Where were you living before you became an MP? And why is it necessary for the state to now provide your rent?
I guess the whole idea was to make them comfortable and to be able to do their work without, having to think about.
So did they not know what work was entailed before they stood for office?
I guess that's why they are called pegs, right? Just to make you comfortable, concentrate on your work.
Why must an MP be comfortable? Does comfort,
because they are serving the people.
Does comfort make people concentrate on their work? Is that what comfort does?
Not necessarily, but I mean, so that somebody wouldn't say, "Oh, I had to think about my rent, how to pay my work." So I couldn't.
Do you know what makes people concentrate on their work?
And
hunger. Yeah, I mean, am I wrong about this? Look around you, look at our industry. Who are the ones who are striving, always awake, middle of the night, sitting in the newsroom, putting stories together? Isn't it those who are hungry for success?
Yeah, probably.
But
now, also to resist
the
temptation of cutting corners.
Does that work?
It doesn't work.
Can you pay someone to be honest?
Especially when there's a culture of corruption, it's difficult, yeah.
But no, in any world, you cannot pay someone to be honest. He's either honest or he's not. It's not your pay packet that will make them honest. That's not how it works. There are billionaires who steal because that's who they are. It's not how much you pay them. So their thinking was flawed from the beginning. This idea that we'll give them so much money that they won't steal from us. Yeah, they don't have to steal because we are handing it over to them.
Well, perhaps not necessarily. Maybe to also motivate people who have, the talent to lead, to, want to become MPs.
So
I don't know.
So when will that kick in? When will the talent kick in? Because we've been waiting.
Question mark.
We've been waiting for the talent to kick in. We paid them and paid
to serve
them
as a motivation.
Them.
I mean, but like you point out, if it's supposed to check corruption and the temptation to steal or do anything that is bad, that is not working, obviously. So,
hey, none of it is working, if you ask me. Anyway, the 6
Where do we go from here?
Charlie. That's what the conversation is about today. How do we get public servants to actually serve the public? Because it's not through their pecs.
And we are lacking people who are selfless, aren't we?
The 6 a.m. news was brought to us by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, your story matters, and Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner, bringing us quite smoothly to the Joy Business Report. And that trumpets me how to keep it too, because I don't know who will get it.
Can we trumpet in inanimate objects?
What object would receive the trumpet then?
Well, I think the city. Well, they say he can't put it, but the city is
doing well.
It's doing very well.
I'm happy. I'll go with that. I'll go with that today. I thought you were going to say we should trumpet the Lexus LX 570.
No.
I would have supported that. All right. The Joy Business Report is brought to you by Omni Basic Bank, not just another bank. Safari Valley Resort, bringing you closer to nature, and MNC Properties, a member of MNC Group. MNC Properties, choice of class.
You know, yesterday they said it was at 11 cities, 85 pesos to the dollar. Perhaps when you make noise, it will go to 10 or something, or even 9 CDs.
Oh, then in fact, for the CD, trumpet!
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, Ghana Stock Exchange records over 30% growth, emerging as the best securities market in the West African region in the first quarter of 2025. Also coming up, Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Johnson Esiama warns path to full economic stability is fraught with risk as he justifies push for fresh measures to contain inflation and thirst to growth. Plus, Electricity Company of Ghana records 32% power loss in 2024, the highest in over 2 decades. We hear from the National Vice Chairman of the Senior Staff Association of the power firm. Don't go anywhere. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for being with us this morning. Hello to our friends listening from Kuf Radio and KT Radio. The Ghana Stock Exchange Index recorded over 30% growth in the first quarter of the year, beating its competitors in the West African sub-region as the best securities market. Managing Director Amoah revealed this. She attributed the feat to renewed confidence in the market and an uptick in activities by investors on the Bears. She is hopeful the growth will surpass other markets across the continent by close of the year.
As of May 18th, the GSE equities market has recorded a very strong performance. Our index was up over 30%, the best in West Africa. Our financial stock index is also up about 33%. And there's renewed investor confidence and robust market activity. Our market capitalization at over 143 billion Ghana cedis is a growth of over 70% compared to the same period last year, but it's still paltry compared to our GDP. We are looking at a market capitalization of only 5% of our GDP. This number should be about 30% where we stand in Ghana. On our fixed income market, volume achieved or traded so far is about 87 billion versus 57 billion at the same time last year, up about 53%. And so there's progress being made here.
Amoah is Managing Director of the Ghana Stock Exchange. Now, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, is warning that the country's path to full economic stability is fraught with risk and some complexities. The governor highlighted these issues at the opening of the Monetary Policy Committee meeting. Here's George Rafi with the rest of the story.
The governor noted that all these concerns makes a strong case for fresh measures to be implemented to deal with the inflation outlook concerns.
There are also geopolitical tensions. These have heightened market uncertainty and could affect commodity prices, could affect exchange rates, and could affect financial flows in emerging markets like ours.
Dr. Esiama also announced that they are reviewing the whole monetary policy framework to make it more responsive to current developments on the market.
This is intended to enhance policy transmission, it is intended to improve liquidity management, and it is intended to allow greater room for credit expansion to the private sector.
On dealing with post-monetary policy concerns, the governor noted that they must make sure that everything doesn't end here when they conclude this meeting.
the critical role of our post-meeting communique. Provide an accessible, transparent account of recent economic trends. This and sustaining public trust in our commitment to price stability.
The governor of the Bank of Ghana therefore warned fellow members of the Monetary Policy Committee that their credibility depends on their ability to respond decisively to current economic realities whilst taking steps to firmly stabilize the Ghana cedi.
Georgia Afe with that report. Now, the director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, Professor Peter Korte, has emphasized that economic stability must be consolidated before easing the monetary policy. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana has begun its meeting to review the economy. The policy rate currently stands at 28%, whilst inflation is at 21.2%. Professor Korte advised the committee to carefully consider government's fiscal position before coming out with a decision on the policy rate.
Central Bank has an overarching overview of how much liquidity is in the system. So they use the rate to correct some of this. If there is too much liquidity in the system and you think the exchange rate is going down, so you allow it to go down. There's too much money in the system. People will use that liquidity to buy and stock forex with the hope that it may rise or it may depreciate. So I think the Monetary Policy Committee would have to look at all these factors, but a lower rate is good for business. If they reduce the policy rate, it is good for everybody. It's good for businesses who can then borrow and then invest to enhance production.
You had Professor Korte, who is director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research. Now, Associate Director for Deloitte Ghana, Dennis Brown, has revealed that changing the structure of Ghana's economy is the only sustainable way to maintain the strength of the cedi in the medium to long term. His comments follow the Bank of Ghana's governor's assurance that the outlook of the cedi remains favorable.
Once you are, building up enough to absorb the demand shocks that are coming from the market, then you'll be fine. But ultimately, what would make it sustainable is when eventually, within the medium to long term, we are able to, reconfigure the structure of our economy to one that is not highly import dependent, to one that has fixed the value chain deficiencies in various industries so that we are able to produce, to replace a lot of the imported goods that we know can be, produced and substituted here, right? And also to be able to export more than we do to, then boost our FX reserve. That really is what we at that point, then we can say we are at a point where we can sustain, whatever gains that we are making in terms of the stability in our local currency.
Associate Director Deloitte Ghana, Dennis Brown there. Next, economist Dr. Edu Susakode, who is urging managers of the economy to consolidate the gains made so far by boosting the industry sector. He believes the government can leverage the current gains of the city by expanding support for local manufacturing companies.
Our reserves program has increased our gold reserves from 8 tons to 31 tons. I think for now, things are a bit okay. Even the speculative demand for dollar has died out. I think people are now even doing speculative sales. People are panicking by selling their dollars rather than buying. I think the more sustainable way is to build our export base, as we always say, to industrialize and to increase exportation, reduce importation. That's why many people are surprised about this development, because they realize that the structure of the economy hasn't changed that much, and yet we are making these gains. So going forward, we have to build an industrial base to sustain this. But for now, I think the market is calm and nobody should panic. The business confidence is high, consumer sentiments are also high, and then hopefully prices will be reduced and the disinflation process will speed up for the MPC rates to come down.
Economist Dr. Edu Susakode, turning to one of our top stories this morning. Data from the Energy Commission has revealed that the Electricity Company of Ghana recorded power losses amounting to 32% of its total electricity purchases in 2024. This is the highest figure in more than 20 years. Speaking on Beyond the Numbers on Joy News, the National Vice Chairman of the Senior Staff Association at ECG, Bismarck Aduma, attributed the surge in losses to the company's inability to efficiently collect payments for electricity consumed in residential areas, compounded by widespread power theft.
If you come to ECG, we have SSC customers. That's the people you compare to the enclave power. And then you go there, we don't have any issue with correction. So if you can, we have more than 10 times our customer population than the enclave power with the customers the enclave power is supplying them. Saying that if you come there to ECG, we are not have any problem there. If you then you won't get even if they are getting 99.0, they can tell the ECG we are getting 100% there. So the issue is not on the customers the enclave power is serving them. The issue is not about the ECG serving our special tariff people. But the problem is when you go to the domestic area, that's where the problem is.
You heard Bismarck Aduma, National Vice Chairman of the Senior Staff Association at ECG. You're listening to the Joy Business Report. Turning to Investor Eye, we'll share with you what to do when you experience SIM swaps and other socially engineered attacks. Adam Glyman is Chief Executive of Global Secure Solutions.
Telco staff can abuse access to internal systems to leak user or subscriber data to criminals, approve unauthorized SIM card swaps, or even siphon funds directly from your accounts. With just a few clicks, your mobile number can be hijacked, your wallet emptied before you even realize your SIM has been swapped. To stop this, telecom companies need to implement stronger internal monitoring systems, regular staff background checks, and multi-factor authentication for all high-risk operations will make a big difference. Telco should seek to create a culture of accountability, from onboarding staff with anti-fraud training to continuously monitoring internal actions. If your SIM card suddenly stops working, act fast. Contact your telco and block access to your mobile money account immediately. Stay sharp, stay secure.
All right, and that's Investor Eye. Before we go look at the markets, the favorite segment of Winston, the commodity market. Crude oil dropped to $64 a barrel. Gold increased by more than $21 to open trading at $3,336 an ounce. Cocoa selling at $10,719 a ton after losing $155 from yesterday's trading. The dollar still at 13 cedis if you're going to the forex bureaus. The British pound 16 cedis 70 pesos. The euro going for 14 cedis 11 pesos. The commercial banks quoting the dollar at 11 cedis 85 pesos. We are just a cedi and 85 pesos shy from 10 cedis.
Yes, I
$1 10 cedis.
No,
that would be remarkable.
It should still go down. Yes, it must go down. I mean, you know, the period of $1, 2 cedis. Even now when we complained, because at some point it was $1, 1 cedi. So we want $1, 1 cedi.
Yeah, but people holding dollars right now are not happy about what's going on.
Well, everything, there's risk associated with a lot of things. Okay, there are people who are talking about they need to purchase dollar now. If you go and purchase it today, and the dollar depreciates further, it was a risk.
It was a risk, yeah.
So it's something that we should know. And Newmont has paid some $220 million to the government. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of dollars in the system. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, and there is more gold being exported. That's dollars in the system. And so that in itself would tell you that and so once that happens and the world is looking around, okay, Africa has brought the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System. PAPS. For now, it's just few countries. But the world is trying so hard to move beyond this whole dollar conversation. Dollar being the currency of international trade and all of that.
Dollarization of the economy.
Yes. But whatever it is, for me, I made my point yesterday and I still stand by it. Whatever it is, because we blame governments when the city depreciates. When the city appreciates, the government in power
should take the credit.
Yes, should take the credits. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, because you can't blame the people and then come around and say when the city appreciates, they don't take credit. They will take credit.
They would.
But of course, it's also, and you see, I've had a conversation about but things would just not change all of a sudden. It's one of the things we don't do so well in this country. We don't acknowledge that governments do well. In fact, I had a conversation with Justice VC RAC Crab, and at that time we had the conversation. There was something he said. I was asking him to rate governments, and he told me that, look, every government does something right.
Mm-hmm.
So he would prefer to actually talk about the good things that the governments did, instead of saying, "Oh, I rate you this percent." No, I give you this mark. Well, no, but he would talk about our growth trajectory throughout a period from independence. And I learned something. Every government will do something, and when you come into government, you would inherit assets and liabilities. Unfortunately, in Ghana, we only talk about the liabilities, not the assets. That's all we do. Okay? But truth is, beg your pardon, truth is, the previous government would have also done a few things that, as expected, would lead to certain improvements in the economy. So, let's have that conversation. But the most important thing is that today, a new government, they will take the credit.
Well, still a subject of debate. Who to give credit to? Still a subject of debate. Well,
it is. But that's it. I mean, that's the things that we do in this country. Anyway, I'm sure we can have,
our inspirational song for the morning.
Song for today is Promise Keeper, Sound of Salem.
Interesting choice.
Yes.
Who's keeping promises?
He chose it.
Well, I heard this is coming from Aaron, so.
Oh, Aaron actually is the brain behind this.
The brain behind this song, so.
Okay.
Jojo issuing a disclaimer. All right, let's hit it.
Wake up to joy, joy, joy. Sunshine and joy in the morning time. Yeah. Wake up to the super morning show. Yeah. Wake up to joy. Wake up to joy.
Today here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, which means we can now get into our Drive Safe campaign. And our Drive Safe campaign is brought to us by Joy News and the Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Superior Quality. So you know what to do. You have to avoid all distractions, keeping both eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. But also be visible, drive with your lights on at night. But talking about your lights, please don't use high beams. Okay, when you're driving at night or at dawn, when you use your high beams, you make visibility poor for the oncoming vehicle. It's just not right. If you don't have to use it, don't use it. I mean, for those of us who come to work at dawn, you find people driving all the way to in Ghana, their highlight. And it's just that. Please, note the usage of high beams. And so let's just get that right and ensure that, we don't blur the vision of others that are driving also at night. Say It Right will come to us shortly. Will come to us, brought to us by Kingdom Books at Kingdom. Quality and affordability are their hallmarks. And Societe Generale Bank Ghana, the future is you, which means we can now get into the newspaper review.
Yeah, Say It Right is on its way. But first, news review brought to you by Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough. Access Bank, more than banking, and Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Happy smile. Right, who's starting us off?
Well, let's start with the finder for this morning. Ghana rakes in $220 million from Newmont's Achim mine sale. Talo restarts drilling operations in Jubilee Field. BOG names 3 advisors to strengthen monetary policy. You know them. Dr. John Kwache, you have Professor John Gachi, and also Dr. Kuma. Those are the 3 that have been appointed by the Bank of Ghana. Let's get into the Daily Graphic then.
The Daily Graphic this morning, Governor explains economic gains. We'll bring you details later, and as well, this is how the Daily Graphic is reporting how the Supreme Court or the Chief Justice is intended to be impeached. I'm not sure how they use the word impeachment, but says that CJ impeachment, Supreme Court throws out another injunction. Details will be brought to you, and as well, removal of beggars on the street. The Ghana Immigration Service repatriates 925 people. Arrest put on hold for lack of space. We'll bring you that one as well. And how drivers and commuters react to the 15% fare reduction. Winston.
Great. Let's get into the Business and Financial Times for today. It says April producer price inflation drops to 18.5%. GRA doubles down on AIML to combat tax leakages as former finance minister warns reforms alone are not enough. And BOG overhauls monetary tools in bid to boost credit, improve transmission. And Mahama woos EU investors for opportunities in high growth value chain. Back page, Otunfo backs poultry sector revamp to reduce forex dependency. It's another area that we have to focus on, Kojo and Emefa. We've been talking about, we've talked about the consumption, the chicken consumption in this country. I did a research recently and I realized the figures that we imported. I'll get that for you. The importation into the country of, these things. Okay. So when it comes to, for instance, in 2023, for instance, we imported 513,000 metric tons of these products into the country, and in 2024 it was 580. Okay, so something we need to work out. That's frozen meat and all of that. So and poultry plays, is a huge part of that. So it's something we need to work on. So because you've been talking about getting into farming, Kojo, maybe you can try.
I still want to,
You try that one.
Adeti, what do you think? What are you looking at?
What kind of farming is this?
Pig farming.
Pig farming.
You don't want to try poultry.
You have free consultation from Winston.
Yes. I've been thinking about poultry. I feel like the value chain of poultry is complicated. And there are so many limitations in Ghana. There are so many problems we need to solve in order for us to be producing at the quantity and quality that our nation needs,
You talk
some people do
passionately
it
about
well.
Fish. I would have thought you go into
I would
fish
go into
farming.
fishing or fish farming.
I'm told we imported 1.89 billion Ghana cedis worth of chicken in 2023. 1.89 billion Ghana cedis. But yes, you're making a point. You should try poultry. I mean, it wouldn't be bad at all.
I've been thinking about it, but some of these problems sometimes also are daunting.
You see, there's something we say in farming. You do to learn.
Wow, you built a chamber and hall for your pigs the last time. Are you doing to learn that?
You learn. You see, so you start small, like we say. You pilot it.
You do to learn.
If it works, when you pilot it and it works, then you continue.
Do to learn.
Whatever it has.
But we learn every day when it comes to farming.
Winston has made all the mistakes already. Just consultation.
In fact, or just invest in Winston's farm.
No, you can come and invest. I'll show you. We'll do the projections into the future. We'll give you the present value. You bring the money. Anyway, I'm sure we can get into the online news review and get into the details.
Online review, as always, brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy. Go, what's online this morning?
Let's see. Stories making news online quickly. Yes. Let's
There we go. Okay, my journal online is chock-a-block with stories. I know that there's something about the latest action of the Chief Justice in the Supreme Court seeking an injunction on a couple of the members of the committee that are looking into her matter. There it is. It's the top story. What's the headline?
CJ's Supreme Court move, a provocation of committee, and blast Justice Tokono's action, and as well, erroneous to think my role as Tokono's lawyer in injunction application against probe affect optics. Godfred Dami speaking to Evans Mensa yesterday on Newsnight, I recall. And as well, city stability partly due to NPP policies. That is Professor Boateng speaking to us. As well, CJ may want cameras, but the Constitution knows better. Amaliba insists on private hearings. The CJ and for this particular, we'll bring back that one we may discuss at some point. But as well, CJ should have gone to Judicial Council first, not Supreme Court. Kweku and Sasari as well are reacting, and maybe Ghana throws open its doors with visa processing slashed to 5 days in dramatic policy research as well.
Dramatic?
Well, at least 5 days. Expeditors, that's an expert.
I mean, it's good, but I'm wondering about the dramatic. Like, what's dramatic about it? Okay, all right. Moving on.
Well, to City Newsroom as well, it's about time good men speak. Dami justifies a role as Tokono's lawyer. And also, reliable electricity key to 24-hour economy. Asante Hene speaking as well. Producer price inflation falls sharply to 18.5% in April. And Dr. Kabiru CD was recovering before NPP left the office as well. A minority, Mohammed's acknowledgement of reserves validate NPP's policies. And as well, one from the Gold Board. Gold Board is filling critical gaps in Ghana's forest market. Kunfi MP as well.
Okay.
I see there's a lot of talk about cities gains, and Boateng in there making the point that the previous government. I was talking to Dial this morning, and I said that one of the things we don't do well in this country is that when a government is in office, it seeks to take credit for everything. But we should remember that governance is a continuous process.
Yeah.
And certain governments will start processes. In fact, by meeting external reserve, enables us now to intervene more in the market. When I say intervene, now the Bank of Ghana can intervene more in the market to ensure the stability of even the Ghana cedi. If we had not met that last year, the Bank of Ghana couldn't have done some of the things it was doing. And even the other things Professor Boateng talks about, the good for good for reserves policy and all of that. These are things that started under the previous administration.
Yeah.
And so he's right. But like I say all the time, in Ghana, we don't like giving credit. So the current government will say, I am doing everything. But the moment there's a problem, we look back and say, oh, but these people caused the problem. So when you take over the reins of government, you inherit assets and liabilities. We talk more about the liabilities. We keep quiet about the assets. But when there's a problem, we always will go back to the liabilities. Anyway, let's get
a quick one also from my journal. Like, what do you guys think about Godfred Dami representing the Chief Justice? Again, there seems to be an issue of optics.
Yes, and there was a bit of confusion which he tries to clarify, especially because in court yesterday, the Chief Justice was represented by another lawyer. And then this particular one, she's been represented by Godfred Dami. Now, where I'm concerned about is the fact that he has issues with the petitioner's lawyers because he thinks that they're very much aligned to the NDC, but doesn't think that his affiliation to the NPP and representing the Chief Justice is also, the optics are quite not good for that. I think what's good for the other person should be good
Except that, well, in this case, you are hearing from the lawyer, right? The lawyer doesn't hire himself.
Of course not.
It's the client that hires the
Well,
lawyer.
no
So it
problem.
is the Chief Justice's choice to hire Godfred Dami, right? But it is Godfred Dami's job to represent the Chief Justice's position. So you must hear him say things like, yes, I think this person is too aligned to that party and all that. You must hear him say that. That's his job. He has to represent his client's interest, not his own.
Won't that be the same for the petitioners as well?
Yeah, but then you ask that question to the person who hired him, not him. He didn't hire himself, right?
The thing about optics is something worth discussing. And so I'll answer your question with a question. We do that in Ghana a lot.
I'm not surprised we're about to do it again.
And when Winston, you answer your question, you're going to do homework.
When people have consistently accused you of something, which means, they've not been able to provide facts to support. If you do anything that seeks to justify that, or if you do anything that provides the people with some form of whatever evidence, or what they can hold on to say, this is what I mean, would the optics be good?
So what is this in reference to?
My reference is to the question you asked.
Yeah, I want to connect it. So who is accused of what? What has been done
to
make people
connect
think they are right?
So you connect
to
it.
think that.
You connect it.
Personally, though, I have to say, if I wanted someone to represent me in a matter that involved what I think is ex parte communication, because that's one of the things being raised, I would pick somebody who has beaten that rap before.
Explain.
The issue of ex parte communication came up in the Richard Jakpa case. They did not. And somebody successfully defended themselves against that in court. Did he not?
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, I'll just pick the best person to win my case. I don't care which party they come from. But anyway, that's
I bet one of the things we're going to be debating over in this country will be the word shall in Article 146, where the Chief Justice thinks that it should not be in camera. We should do public hearing. Which
I think that it's a case that's a case that has gone to court. So I,
who is it to protect? I think that's the first question.
The very distinguished judge said, Dennis Ajay, has advised me before that when an issue is in court, you don't comment. You don't know what constitutes contempt. Yes, you don't know what a judge would say amounts to contempt of court.
But may I ask this question?
But I say that the law is very clear. The lawyers have said shall is mandatory. Shall be held
in camera.
End of story.
Okay. But to help us understand the purpose behind that law, can I ask, who is it to protect? Is it to protect the person being investigated, so to speak, or is it to protect the witnesses?
I think it'll be both.
Okay.
It'll be both.
then
that right cannot be exclusive to one party and
then
all the
even
other.
if a discussion comes up about whether that provision should be changed, right? And because it can't be changed, it's there. It's in the constitution.
Well, you recall the election petition, that word "shall" in the constitution.
Yeah.
They said contest really is important when we're going to use "shall."
So that's why I asked the question: who is it to protect? Right? I mean, it is already public knowledge that Justice Tokonu is being investigated or is being looked into. So, is it to protect her, or is it to protect petitioners who are allowed to petition anonymously or without their identity being put out in public? They are allowed to do that.
Start from there.
Okay. So anyway, I leave it there.
The law is the law.
The law is the law.
So whatever you do, the law is still the law. Ghana rakes in $220 million from Newmont's Achim mine sale is on the front page of the Finder, and I'm sure you know the story by now that Ghana has received more than 220 million in tax and equity related payments from the sale of Newmont Corporation's Achim mine, marking a major windfall from one of the largest mining transactions in recent times. So the payment comprises 174 million capital gains tax and a separate 50 million check representing the government's carried interest in that particular deal. Ghana needs $562 billion for full transition by 2070. That's according to the Energy Ministry. So we're told that Ghana will require an estimated $562 billion to fully implement its energy transition agenda.
$562 billion.
$562 billion.
Aye.
Yes.
What's our GDP?
It's less than 100 billion. Our GDP is our GDP is 1.17 trillion. So let me calculate that into dollars for you. But on top of my mind, at best, it's less than 100 billion. Except that, yes, it's less than 100 billion. If we do the 11.85, so 101 trillion. Okay.
I'm even confused.
Why are you confused?
Wait, is it really dollars? 500 and what?
562 billion dollars. So
aren't we only 32 million people?
So currently our GDP, the total is worth $98 billion.
And we are saying that it will cost us 5 times our combined productivity
by 2070. So we can get there.
2070.
This is 2025.
Let's discuss it.
2070, I am not sure I'll be alive, but I'm sure my son will look to that day and say, okay, this is it. But that's it. Cedi strengthens as dollar falls below 12 cedis. Says the Ghanaian cedi continued its rally against the US dollar on Wednesday, with the greenback falling to 11 cedis 95 pesos on the interbank market by mid-morning. Also here, Isabel's calls for balanced approach in Africa's push towards a cashless economy. So Professor Peter Korte has been calling for a more inclusive and balanced policy approach as African countries push towards cashless economy. And you know that BOG is named 3 persons. So the 3, Dr. John Fachi, Director of Research at the Institute of Economic Affairs. He's been at the Bank of Ghana before, when he was at the, I think, head of research at one point. Dean of the University of Cape Coast Business School, Professor John Gachi, and Dr. Francis Kuma, a seasoned economist and former IMF resident representative.
Okay, I'll bring you this one on the Ghana Immigration Service on the repatriation of 925 people out of the 2,241 persons that have been removed from the streets of Accra. Those repatriated last Saturday were made up of 819 Nigerians, or Nigerians, actually, not Nigerians, Nigerians, and 106 Nigerians. Also, 1,316 more persons made up of the 1,254 Nigerians, 32 Nigerians, 28 Burkinabes, Malian and Guinean are expected to be repatriated. Now, why I brought this up is the fact that the Child's Right, they have said that about 60% of all the people that were taken off the street are children, and so they hope that their rights are not being infringed upon. Amnesty International is also asking for safety. But if you read this paper this morning, the Ghana Immigration Service is assuring humane treatment of the people that they have taken off the street. But just so you know that arrests have been put on hold because there's no space.
There are Nigerians in there and so forth, and I think it's important for us to get some education on freedom of movement through ECOWAS and all of this, because when you repatriate people, you have to demonstrate that they've broken some immigration laws.
There's actually the law indicates that 90 days. So where you stay more than 90 days.
Yes. So that's the immigration law they've broken. Yeah. Good stuff.
I'm excited that drivers and commuters as well are reacting to the 15% fare reduction. They can, if you're feeling it, you can let us know.
It starts on Saturday, actually.
Yeah. Well, actually, Saturday. And by Monday, you should let us know if you paid a little lesser than you're paying between now until Saturday. So look forward to
when that, will the traders reduce their prices?
When new stock comes.
All right, let's go for the BBC News, and it's brought to us this and every morning by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
Today at 8:30 GMT. Business Daily is in 30 minutes.
Over 200 lives lost, billions of dollars worth of damage, and more than 500,000 businesses ruined. This was the legacy of the floods which hit the east coast of Spain in Valencia in October 2024. More than 6 months on from that, we look at how the region has been recovering.
This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station. Welcome to the inquiry on the BBC World Service. Rice shelves in many supermarkets are empty across Japan.
People walked into the supermarket in order to purchase rice, but they realized that the shelves are empty. This shortage has been exacerbated by psychological factors and delays in policy response.
The staple food also has strong spiritual and cultural connections.
Throughout history, with the aid of a government, the rice became the symbolic symbol for the Japanese.
But lack of availability means record-breaking prices.
The capacity of the economy to produce rice has just come under incredible strain.
This week we're asking, what does Japan's rice crisis say about its economy?
If the price goes down, making that rice will not be profitable again.
I'm Charmaine Cozier. Join me on the inquiry after the news.
Hello, I'm Govinda Gill with the BBC News. 2 Israeli embassy staff members, a man and a woman, have been shot dead in Washington as they were leaving an event at a Jewish museum. The city police chief said a man approached the victims and began shooting. Jake Kwan has more details.
Police say the gunman was seen pacing outside the building before an event at the Jewish museum. He then shot 2 members of the Israeli embassy at close range. Officers say when he was taken into custody, he chanted, "Free Palestine." They've identified the suspect as a 30-year-old American man, Elias Rodriguez from Chicago. President Trump offered his condolences on social media and wrote, "Hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA." He also offered his support to the Israeli ambassador, promising that his administration would do all it could to fight anti-Semitism.
South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has insisted his meeting on Wednesday with Donald Trump went very well, despite the US president publicly accusing the South African government of persecuting white people. Anthony Zerka was watching.
He was very calm. He wasn't confrontational. He didn't push back. He tried to explain what the South African side was. He quoted Nelson Mandela. He allowed one of his agriculture minister, who happens to be white, to offer his defense of South African policy and try to explain that they were keeping these type of elements out of the government that would want to kill farmers and confiscate land, and that while there is a problem with crime, it is a problem in that country that affects both black and white people.
The United Nations says it's been able to dispatch 90 trucks carrying vitally needed food aid into the Gaza Strip from a holding position just across the southern border of the enclave. The food supply is a tiny proportion of what the UN says is needed after Israel's 11-week blockade have reached their distribution locations. Dozens more aid trucks remain stuck on the border waiting for clearance. Yolanda now reports from Jerusalem.
In the dark, dozens of lorries carrying flour, baby food and medical equipment finally departed from the main Kerem Shalom crossing into southern Gaza. While these minimal supplies weren't immediately distributed, there are hopes they'll soon reach those in need. A UN spokesman said that delays in its teams collecting the aid were due to insecurity along the single route which the Israeli military had approved for them to access the crossing.
Canada, Uruguay and Spain are among the countries calling for accountability from Israel after Israeli soldiers fired shots near an international diplomatic delegation visiting the occupied West Bank. No injuries were reported in the incident in the flashpoint city of Jenin. World news from the BBC. North Korean state media says an accident during the launch ceremony of a new naval destroyer has caused the vessel to capsize. The launch on Wednesday was watched by the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, who described it as a catastrophic failure, as an intolerable criminal act that had tarnished the country's dignity. A breast cancer trial in the UK has concluded hundreds of lives could potentially be saved each year if women with very dense breasts had extra screening. About 10% of women have very dense breasts and are 4 times more likely than others to develop breast cancer between the ages of 50 and 70. Research suggests that more cases could be detected with additional scanning techniques. Researchers in the United States say mosquitoes should be given malaria drugs to clear their infection so they can no longer spread the disease. The team at Harvard University has found a pair of drugs which can successfully rid the insects of malaria when absorbed through their legs. 1 man has died and 3 others are missing after floods in eastern Australia. Authorities in New South Wales have ordered one of the state's biggest emergency operations in response to the severe storms. Phil Mercer reports from Sydney.
Some areas north of Sydney have had 4 months' worth of rain in just a few days. More heavy downpours are forecast. Residents have been rescued from their rooftops by helicopters. Rivers have overflowed and towns have been inundated. Many communities are without power and roads and schools have been closed. The Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is urging people in the worst-hit regions to obey emergency evacuation orders. The authorities say the threat of dangerous flooding could extend to parts of Sydney.
Phil Mercer with that report from Sydney. That was the latest world news from the BBC.
When you wake up in the morning and you know the money calling, oh, you go work, but you know it's out on your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, cause you know it's out on your side. And when you dream, no say I live for you. And when you hustle every day, when you wanna go, anything you do, I live for you. If I believe I live your side, fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I live your side, fidelity.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the game of choices. Listen with rapt attention. Round 1, question 1. Elevator or stairs?
Stairs.
Now the second question. Less than 4 hours or at least 6 hours of sleep at night?
At least 6 hours of sleep.
The last question. Yomi yogurt or...
Yomi yogurt, of course.
Oh, I'm not done.
No need. That's my choice. Yomi yogurt.
Life is full of choices. Always remember that the choices we make today shape our tomorrow. Whether it's a morning start, a midday snack, or a dessert, our delicious Yomi yogurt is here to nourish you. Yummy, a nourishing choice. This advert is FDA approved.
It's the most
breakfast show in town.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
In recognition of Mental Health Month, join us for the Mental Health Forum 2025, a powerful free event championing mental well-being in Ghana. It's happening on Saturday, May 31st at the Accra International Conference Center, starting 10 a.m. sharp. Come experience moving stories, expert insights, and real solutions. Meet leading psychologists, change makers, and public voices, all coming together to say, your mind matters. Let's break the silence. Let's end the stigma. Let's heal together. Mental Health Forum 2025, Beyond Stigma. Brought to you by Premier Rehabilitation Center in partnership with the Mental Health Authority, Ghana Psychology Council, Joy News and Joy Prime. Proudly supported by the Ministry of Health, Verna Mineral Water, Dyson, Compute Ghana, Bistro, Le Magela, Save Bond, The Cafe, Polo Club, Gourmet Gardens, Premier 369 Limited, and others.
City's not picky promotion. As you requested, we have dropped our prices for you. So rush to any Electroland showroom or authorized dealer store across Ghana and grab your desired Samsung, TCL, Media, and NASCO appliances at unbeatable prices. For your favorite TVs, refrigerators, air conditioners, washing machines, gas cookers, home theaters, microwaves, and many more, we have them on price drop. Thanks to the city's appreciation against the dollar. Enjoy convenient prices that fit your budget. Don't miss out. City is not picky. Electroland Day for you.
If you have 250 Ghana cedis right now, it can do wonders for you. Chairman, Fabeji, it could turn your tears into joy in the Access Bank Fakitwabeji Kese promo. Madam, Fabeji, it could get you up to 50,000 Ghana cedis cash prize. Business owner, Fabeji, as a student, make transactions with your Access Bank card, and that could get you Spotify and Netflix subscriptions, PS5, iPhone 16 Pro Max, and more. This be out of class senso. Fabeji, you see what 250 Ghana cedis can do for you? And Gasakra. Fabeji, it's the Access Bank Fakitwabeji Kese promo. Deposit a minimum of 250 Ghana cedis and its multiples in your new or existing account and be on your way to winning a share of the 580,000 Ghana cedis in cash prizes and other amazing rewards. The more you deposit, the more your chances of winning. Promo runs from now to September 2025. This promo is in partnership with NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Access Bank, more than banking.
One time for your mind, y'all. Saturday, I really point to the teacher.
Wake up to joy, joy, joy. Sunshine and joy in the morning time. Yeah. Wake up to the super morning show. Yeah. Wake up to joy.
love me. And in everything they involve me. True love is working.
Hold now, pause it.
Yeah.
I see, even if I'm choosing at random, it's still you I'll be choosing.
It's Akoto.
Okay, you know.
So here we are today on the Super Morning Show.
Before you say that, you know, growth is good for everybody.
Okay,
so you can actually, if you listen to this song,
yes,
the rap and everything, and you listen to Sarkodie today, you feel the difference.
Can I be the one with the unpopular opinion who says that I actually prefer how he used to rap?
Oh, I like how he raps it now.
I prefer how he used to rap. He would fill every space with a syllable. He would break down a sentence so much that every space in the song has one syllable. I don't know how to demonstrate. Listen to this. Listen. Let's go back a little bit. Listen to this.
Never betray you. 10 times you could not make a via school. You be my love 110. Time for you say that you don't mean saying. We jam go man not to meaning a din din. Matata watch it, tell me something. Like he fills every space with a syllable.
It's better now.
Oh no! Now it sounds a bit more Western. When you listen to him now, he sounds a bit more Western. I quite like Boga Boga.
No, I think
I love that.
He's
song.
matured now. I like this. I like it. It's better now. Yeah, it's better now.
You say like, you know, he would fill out. Oh no, I loved how he used.
It's improved. It's better now.
I humbly disagree.
Those days he was not saying anything.
I think I'm the one with the minority.
Well, he was not. Now he's better. He was not saying anything.
I won't say what I genuinely want to say.
I think he had more punchlines back then. I think that's my view. But anyway,
people have done bars where they've said nothing. Anyway, let's move on.
Yes, and your favorite rapper is one of them. Let's not even go there.
Who's that?
This guy. He will tell you right now.
Ghana's best rapper. After church, Big Joe Frazier. Big Joe Frazier. Which Ghanaian artist can rap with the same syllable ending all the lines? How can you do it? Apart from Big Joe Frazier. Ghana's best rapper of all time.
The point of a rap is that the end of every line should have a similar sounding syllable.
And that's Big Joe Frazier.
And it still makes sense.
That is the point of rap.
And it still makes sense.
But
Big Joe Frazier.
Your guy, does he?
She.
Today on the Super Morning Show, we have an important national conversation. I mean, look, I think that when a person does a good job, they should be rewarded. I really believe in that. But it's about time we asked questions about how we reward our public figures, our political leaders, our public servants. It's about time we ask some questions about how we reward them. I mean, did you know that what they call the car loan for MPs, actually whatever amount they borrow to buy the vehicle, the state pays back 60% of the debt plus the interest, and the MP only pays back 40%. If the vehicle is imported, no import duty. That's a great perk, isn't it? I don't know how it compares to other countries, richer countries. I don't know whether the United Kingdom, that we always go and beg for money, whether they pay their MPs, give their MPs such a perk. I wonder. It's not just that, but you know, when you go into those who are running our SOEs, wonderful pay packets to run a company at a loss. Why? So not only are we a poor country, paying rich people's salaries to our public servants, but are we even getting value for what we are giving them? That's our conversation today.
Yes, Kojo, look, I've always insisted that leaders solve problems. They don't explain them. And I've always indicated that politics is the art of the possible and the attainable. Simply You're in there to solve a problem. But how do you solve a problem when you are insulated from the reality? Why is it the case that people who are expected to help transform this country end up seeking transformation or private transformation first, and in most instances never seek the public transformation? Why are leaders consistently thinking about themselves instead of us, the good people of Ghana? And why are we also supporting the system that actually insulates them from the problems and the troubles we are facing as a people? Why do we encourage them to subject us to poverty when they live lives of kings? That's a conversation we must have.
Absolutely. And look, again, we have to take this dispassionately. What is the point of a public servant? When a person puts themselves up for public service, do they aim to make a profit? Should that be an outcome? Should a person make profit from public service? Or is it a sacrifice? What's the ethos behind it? We've seen people, billionaires, take up appointments in government, and they are paid money that won't even reflect in their, bank account. So they clearly didn't come and do the job for money, did they? Especially if they are billionaires. So why did they do the job? Why did they choose to come and work for the government? Why? And what about you and me? When we decide to go into politics, what are we going there for? Is it to feed ourselves or to solve the nation's problems?
I think you both ask really good questions, very viable questions, and I'm sure that I won't be having these conversations or won't be looking into the cup deeper if what they were receiving reflects what they're supposed to be doing for us as a community or as a country. For example, if you saw your member of parliament driving a very posh car and yet your community has all it needs to thrive, I'm certain we won't be looking to even want to be interested in the perks that they receive. There's always a star performer in a company. Beyond what they receive as salaries, you get some more compensations to encourage you to do what you have to do. And so if you saw your member of parliament sits in a car and it's quite comfortable and all of that, you comfort yourself knowing that there's at least KVIP. There's at least good school. The road to where you can also use to go to your workplace is well done. And I'm quite certain that if we have all of this, we won't be looking, because at least what you find is what you would find. But if we're also compensated or get what we're supposed to be getting, I'm certain that will be okay.
For me, I think it's the philosophy. It's the philosophy. Why do you go into public service?
Service.
Yeah. Why?
Of course, yeah.
Why do you go there?
For what the name is for, service.
If we shroud the job in so many perks that you don't even get to see the problems that you went there to solve, then who are we helping? Apart from you, the public servant, who else is getting helped? These are the things we want to talk about. Use the hashtag JoySMS when you post on X. You can send us your WhatsApps 05511119997. A voice note is nice. Just make sure it's not too long, and we'll play it back here on the show.
Wake up to joy, joy, joy. Sunshine and joy in the morning time. Yeah. Wake up to the super morning show. Yeah. Wake up to joy.
Now, have you heard about the incredible benefits of Excellium from Total Energies? Let me tell you more about the premium fuel with its amazing 3-in-1 power. Total Energies introduces Excellium new formula, the additive enriched fuel, with its powerful 3-in-1 action that cleans your engine and, of course, extends its life and lowers your fuel consumption thanks to the cumulative effect of its anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives. Excellium new formula also lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption while reducing CO2 emissions. You will drive, experience the difference with Total Energies Excellium new formula. Choose Excellium, choose quality. Why do I always say Toyota?
Now, looking to fast track your investment process, take advantage of the Ghana Investments Promotion Center GIPC 24-hour premium service designed to speed up investment registration and approvals. Once you submit all required documents and pay, your registration, certificate renewal, or quota application can be processed in just 24 hours. Yes, you heard it. In just 24 hours. No more long waits, just premium service designed with your business in mind. For more information on how to leverage this premium service, visit www.gipc.gov.gh, or you can call 0200 112204 or 0200 112117. Kindly note that terms and conditions definitely apply.
So the esteemed CEOs join us at the 9th CEO Summit and Expo, the nation's leading business leadership conference connecting over 500 top CEOs and dignitaries globally. It's on Monday, the 26th of May 2025 at the Kempinski Hotel, Gold Coast City, Accra. Time 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Theme is Leading Ghana's Economic Reset, Transforming Business and Governance for a Sustainable Futuristic Economy, a Private-Public Sector Dialogue and Learning. And the summit will explore how transformational leadership, sustainability, digital innovation and governance reforms can reset Ghana's economy. Special guest of honor as the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Key highlights include CEO case presentations, public-private dialogues, panel sessions, master classes, keynote speeches, SPED Insight CEO Excellence Awards, and Strategic CEO Connects, powered by the Ghana CEO Network in partnership with Deloitte, PwC, EY, GIPC, SIGA, Media General and Multimedia Group. It's the Ghana CEO Summit and Expo, Inspiring Business Leadership and Economic Transformation.
All right, well, we've been telling you about M&C Properties, and listen, they are your home ownership partner. They are offering you affordable houses, fresh property management services, and of course, sale of litigation-free land. Take advantage of their premium listing website and advertise, rent, or sell your property. Your smooth journey to home ownership starts here with them. Speak to them on 0302 551 917. M&C Properties, choice of class.
Now, attention please, this is an account information update call from Omni Basic Bank to all our beautiful customers. Kindly proceed to any of our branches or visit our website www.omnibasic.com.gh to update your account records with your Ghana card. For more information, kindly call 030-7086,000 or 080-0100-790. Have a beautiful day. Omni Basic Bank, not just another bank.
So Toyota Ghana, and Kojo, listen to this carefully, proudly presents Starlet Day. And so on the 30th of May, Toyota Ghana is offering free diagnostics, discounted maintenance, and 20% off Toyota genuine spare parts exclusively for all Toyota Starlet owners. So visit any of their branches in Accra, Graphic Road, Legon, or Motorway and Intema, Kumasi, Takrady, and Takwa, and enjoy unbeatable value for money while exploring exciting trading offers too. Rush now for a new Toyota Starlet from any Toyota Ghana Company Limited showroom and enjoy 1 year or 20,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. Free service with an extended warranty of 5 years or 120,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. Own your stardom with a new Toyota Starlet and make your automobile dream a reality today. Terms and conditions apply. Ghana drives Toyota. Starlets.
Okay, now we've been telling you, I think you know by now, that if your tank doesn't have the tortoise on it, it is not the correct tank. Yeah, the tortoise tank, Syntex tank, is the champion of water tanks. It's strong, it's durable, and it's built to handle our Ghanaian weather. Rain or shine, Syntex tank has your back. So listen, go outside, check your tank. If it doesn't have the tortoise on it, it's time to upgrade. Join the Syntex Tank family today and enjoy water storage that is tough like the tortoise. Call 0244 335 168 to buy now, or find one of their 400 agents across the country. And of course, you can shop online at syntexgh.com. Syntex Tank, are you strong? Are you tough?
And renewing your motor insurance policy with SG Ghana is not just about getting reliable cover for you and your vehicle. There are amazing extra benefits that will blow your mind. From now till 30th of May 2025, buy or renew your comprehensive motor insurance policy with SG Ghana Sound Drive and win big in the SG Insure and Win promo. You stand a chance of winning a 2-night all-expense paid stay for 2 at the luxurious Safari Valley Resort. You could also win 4 brand new tires or free car servicing for a whole year. There's more. Get up to 1,000 Ghana cedis free fuel instantly just for renewing or buying your comprehensive motor insurance policy from SG Ghana. You can call 030-2214-314 for more information, or walk into the nearest SG Ghana branch to buy or renew your motor insurance policy today. This promo is regulated by the National Lotteries Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. SG Ghana Sound Drive is underwritten by Sunlam Alliance General. Terms and conditions apply. Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you.
And every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases foul breath. Well, brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter gives your teeth the protection they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. And Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is fortified with pro-fluoride and microcalcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth. And this prevents cavities, keeps your teeth strong and mouth healthy. And it comes in 175 gram big family pack, 120 gram Ejakwa pack, 65 gram and 12 gram sachet. So you can always get whatever you can afford at any time. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent has been educating Ghanaians on how to brush their teeth for 25 years and is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association. And they give you the opportunity to talk to your dentist for free. So call them on toll-free 0800 16 1000 to talk to your dentist for free. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you. Call their customer care center on toll-free 0800 2030. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
You know those social media posts that say take a moment every day to fear men or fear women or whatever. Yeah. Well, take a moment every day to go to kingdomstoreonline.com, do something positive and get yourself the best quality office essentials, equipment, furniture and stationery from Kingdom Books. They let you pay via Momo, which is always handy, and then they'll deliver to your home or office in very good time. If you live in Accra or Tema, it's free delivery. Terms and conditions apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
Now is the time to grab the chance to win big in the Access Bank Fakitwa Beji Kesia promo. Simply deposit a minimum of 250 Ghana cedis into your new or existing Access Bank current or savings account to join the promo. Increase it to 500 Ghana cedis or more and qualify for a draw. For our youth customers solo account, spend 500 Ghana cedis or more with any Access Visa card and qualify for a reward. The more you deposit, the higher your chances of winning. Don't sit back, deposit now and stand a chance to win a share of over 500,000 Ghana cedis in cash and other amazing rewards like PS5, iPhone 16, Chromebook, and much more in our 4 monthly mini draws and 2 mega draws. This promo runs from now till September 2025 in partnership with NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Join the Fakitwa Beji Kesia train. Save now for the future and win big. For more information, visit www.ghana.accessbankplc.com or call toll-free number 0800 004400. Access Bank, more than banking.
Yeah, well, we've got sports, we've got birthdays, we've got Uncle Ibo White, who I'm sure is going to be very excited to see how nice Emefa Adeti is looking this morning. Yes, rivaling the sun, innit?
Thank you.
All right, well, that and more coming up. Stay tuned for it all right here on the Super Morning Show here on Joy.
Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
Ever wondered what else your Standard Chartered Visa card can do? It is not just for taking money from ATMs. Your Standard Chartered Visa card is the enjoyment card. Use it to shop at malls and supermarkets and for all your online transactions. Book and pay for that overdue vacation online and win fantastic rewards like airtime, Melcon gift vouchers, and a weekend stay at a plush hotel and many more. It is the enjoyment card. So next time you're about to make any payment, let your Standard Chartered Visa card lead the way, not cash. It is your gateway to secure, convenient, and rewarding payments. Visit the 360 Rewards website for more information. Standard Chartered, here for good.
FPAC is effective for headaches and relieves the symptoms of flu, colds, and catarrh. FPAC blows away the pain associated with sore throats. During and after a hard day's work, FPAC relieves you of body pains. After the day's sports workout, FPAC helps the body to control the aching muscles. FPAC is effective against feverishness. FPAC reduces body temperature associated with malaria and other fevers. FPAC is effective against rheumatic pains. You can find FPAC in all pharmacy and chemical select shops throughout the country. FPAC is not recommended for children less than 16 years of age, ulcer and asthmatic patients, pregnant and lactating mothers. If symptoms persist for more than 2 days, consult your doctor. FPAC blows your pain away.
FPAC Junior follows in the tradition of FPAC tablets, a trusted friend to relieve your child of pain associated with teething, catarrh, cold and fever. The good that FPAC does for you, FPAC Junior does for your child. FPAC Junior is for children between 6 months and 12 years. FPAC Junior blows your child's pain away.
All right, we will bring you birthday messages later on the show after 8 o'clock. Stay tuned for them. But they are brought to you, as always, every morning by
MTN, everywhere you go.
And Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as
close as a partner. But before we go, could you just one birthday? And this one says, happy birthday, my baby, my angel, my counselor, my cheerleader, my confidant, Mrs. Henrietta Sepoga. You have such a pure heart and a deeply caring spirit housed in a wonderful body, excellently crafted by the greatest creator. I truly feel so blessed to have you as a life partner. Thank you for sharing this journey with me and making it remarkably meaningful, pleasant, and profoundly fulfilling. You remain my sunshine always. I wish you a fulfilling, healthy, wealthy, and impactful life. Love you forever. Dr. Promise Sepoga.
Hey, dog.
Teacher Promise.
That's
my maths teacher.
If you just allow us to lie next to
gynecologist.
you, if you just allow us to lie next to you quietly, you see what we are willing to do for you.
Oh boy, let's get into the sports center.
And it's brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go, Standard Chartered Bank.
Here for good.
Franco Trading. Still
phone Papa Perfie.
FPAC blows your pain away. And all of the football is available on DSTV. So it's the FA Cup, the Europa and Champions League finals live this April and May on DSTV, your home of entertainment.
So my people, you know that Thursdays are now extra special on MTN, so your Thursday just got more exciting because from now on you get a nice 25% bonus on your first data bundle purchase of the day when you bundle on my MTN app or use *138# this and every Thursday on MTN. MTN is saying that's not enough for a lovely customer like you, so they are offering a free extra movie ticket when you pay with Momo at the Silverbird Cinemas in Accra and West Hills Malls. For those of you in the Garden City Kumasi, you get your free tickets at the Golden Cinemas in the Kumasi Mall. If you ask me, I think your movie dates are sorted from now. Now, this is what I call a sweet deal. So get your set your reminders, bundle on my MTN or *138# and make the best of your 25% first data bundle discount and visit the cinemas, use Momo and get your free extra movie tickets on MTN's Yellow Thursday.
And I'm excited about this one. Now, she is born to innovate, lead and inspire change. She's an entrepreneur. She is Ghanaian and her community is waiting for her next big move. That's why Standard Chartered's Future Makers Women in Tech program exists to give women entrepreneurs the platform to spark bold ideas, build thriving businesses and drive real impact where it matters most. This year, we're going even further, making a deliberate push to include women entrepreneurs living with disabilities. Through this empowering initiative, participants will gain 1. A dedicated portfolio manager to help shape their business growth journey. 2. Access to seed funding of up to $10,000 Ghana cedis equivalent, tailored masterclasses and invaluable mentorship opportunities, a vibrant alumni network and entrepreneurs across Africa and the Middle East. Are you ready to innovate, lead, inspire? We're looking for women-led or owned businesses using technology to transform industries and empower communities. Visit www.scwomenintechgh.com to apply now. Take your business to the next level. Standard Chartered here for good. Kojo!
Good morning.
Good morning.
How is the guy sitting to our right?
Yes, I've seen him.
Charlie, he be fake prophets.
Is he?
Yes, he sat in that same chair yesterday to say that Manchester United will win. Not just Tottenham, passa. Now go and see Dr. Baumia's post. You've given one of the lone Tottenham fans in this country.
Today,
now Dr. Baumia is saying glory, Tottenham. It should have been glory, Man United.
Actually, you have the nerve to come to work.
See, honestly, this is the last place I would rather be. Like I wish I was sitting on the beach.
Your eyes are not looking very good.
I didn't sleep well. I just
Manchester the mania Gio.
Because of you, Tottenham. He's now saying glory, Tottenham.
That's the team former president Akosua also supports.
Nana too supports.
Problem, I don't want to be here.
Bad prophet, fake prophet.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome aboard to the Joy Sports Center. Unfortunately for myself and everyone who does not support Tottenham Hotspur but wanted Manchester United to win, this happened last night.
Richarlison slipped in for Bentancur. Saw once more, and Johnson's in there! And Tottenham strike first on the big night!
Tottenham Hotspur defeated soulless Manchester United to win the Europa League and their third major European trophy. Also coming up.
Halliburton. He'll take it. He'll backpedal, a free for the win. And he got it!
As awkward shots as they come, Tyrese Halliburton doing it the awkward way for the Pacers in the NBA. We'll tell you all about the close shave with the New York Knicks in a moment. But let's start from home, because the GFA president, Keto Kreko, has said that the association's investment into women's football is beginning to reflect in improved standards across the board. Speaking to reporters at a recent media engagement, Okreko, who was recently appointed second vice president at CAF, says the standard of play in the women's domestic competitions and the Black Queens qualification for the women's AFCON supports his claims.
If you look at the level of the competition, the level of football, the enthusiasm shown by the clubs, the fans who defied the heavy rains to stay and to enjoy the female sport, is something that really, really excited me, and that tells all of us how far the game has come. The investments that we've made in the female sport over the last 5 years is beginning to yield fruits. Our Black Queens are back to the stage that they belong to, getting ready for the WAFCON. But most importantly, police ladies and fit ladies deserve all the congratulations.
Akoto Kweku, speaking of growth. Speaking of which, not much has been experienced in youth football in the country. Last week, the Black Satellite lost to Egypt on penalties at the Under-20 AFCON, in the process missing out on the World Cup for a 10th consecutive year. The Black Meteors have also not qualified for the Olympics in 21 years. And looking back on the situation that has also affected the national Under-17 team, the Black Starlets, former vice chair of Ghana's Juvenile Committee, Sami Enimado, has identified the lack of proper support systems and government backing as a key factor.
The government must also come in to support financially when it comes to the junior national teams, to camp early, to prepare them early. You are going to play against Morocco or Nigeria, or those people who are playing, the youth teams are going to more competition, getting the right diet, getting a psychologist. Remember I told you we need psychologists around for these kids, getting the right diet for them, getting the right education for them. So if you do that, you get a result. But sometimes we lack some of these things.
Yep, that's Sami Enimado speaking there. Let's talk some club football. This weekend, Kumasi Asante Kotoko will have the chance to close the gap at the summit of the league table when the host Bibiani Gold Stars was second on the league table. The two teams are separated by just 2 points. Kotoko with 54, Gold Stars in second place. Kotoko with 54, Gold Stars in second place with 56 points. One of the players Kotoko are counting on is Kwame Opoku, who has scored 11 goals this season. Yet he's unhappy with his tally because he believes he can do more.
No, I'm not happy, man, because I believe Saint Committee Yashemo, because now a couple of times ago I was saying committee deciding to have meeting and then again so now offside decisions now I have a party. I think say I'm happy because now who saying committee me Ashemo and even forward no. I think say me we share they were running for the offside and now meeting give out my best game.
Yeah, that was Kwame Opoku speaking there. Now, the knockout draw for the inaugural Tumu Community Cup is scheduled to take place later today in Tumu ahead of the highly anticipated tournament on Saturday. 8 qualified teams will learn of the opponents as they are paired for the quarters, with the winners advancing to the semis. Anticipation is building among coaches and players. Yes, Ademu Benin Abdul Karim from Tumu.
I'm expecting a great football display within the Sesala enclave. And my boys, you can see the enthusiasm in them. They are fully prepared for the competition. It's really a nice opportunity for us to showcase our talent.
You should look out for more exciting football to be played. Today was not our best game, but we won. We'll come and play much better than today.
Yeah, those were some of the players and coaches who spoke to Ademu Benin Abdul Karim from Tumu. The Tumu Community Cup is a collaborative initiative spearheaded by Joy Sports editor Fentio Tahiru Fentio in partnership with leading bookmakers Betway and supported by Piva Beverages. The tournament will be held on Saturday, May 24 at the Tumu Stadium, AstroTurf. Now, Brennan Johnson's bundled first half goal helped Tottenham Hotspur win a scrappy Europa League final by 1-0 against Manchester United on Wednesday as they cast aside their domestic woes to end a painful 17-year trophy drought. In a season where both clubs plummeted down the Premier League, Tottenham emerged from a dismal campaign with something to celebrate, as well as a lucrative berth in next season's UEFA Champions League. Spurs manager Ange Postecoglou hopes the win will inspire a paradigm shift at the club.
Well, I'm really hoping that it does. It changes the way the club sees itself more than anything else. I mean, externally, you can't really, adjust whatever people think about you, but how you feel about yourself is really important. And as a football club, we've just been close so many times, and I could feel the nervousness every time, in Europe. Every time we got close to something, there was always this, what if it's another year where we miss out? So we've done it now, so that's the monkey off the back. So now the club can sort of stand tall, and hopefully it does. It looks at itself a bit differently and tries to challenge for more trophies. You've won one now, so there's nothing stopping you winning again.
Well, that was Spurs' first silverware since 2008 when they won the League Cup, and their first European trophy since their last one in 1984 when they won the UEFA Cup. They've now won the Europa League on 3 occasions. That's 3 major European trophies to their name. Before the game, Postecoglou touted his credentials of winning trophies in his second year at every club. After the game, Spurs defender Mickey van der Ven praised the coach for delivering on his promise.
Yeah, the gaffer said this, and I think he proved he's done it. So he won again something in his second year, and everybody that was doubting him, everybody that was doubting us, we all proved them wrong this year. And of course, it was a really tough season in the league. We didn't perform well, and it was really poor from our side. Of course, I can say that. I can't say something else than that. But in the league, in Europe, we did so well. And to be honest, I'm really happy that he said I win always things in my second year. We made sure he could keep saying this. So we're happy for him. We're happy for the team, and that's it.
Meanwhile, Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim has said that he was confident he was still the right man for the job after the club's woeful loss to Tottenham Hotspur, but would quit with no compensation if the club's board believed otherwise. Right, we'll bring you that insert from Ruben Amorim in a moment. But in the NBA, Tyrese Haliburton was a bit premature after he mimicked Hall of Famer Reggie Miller's infamous choke sign at the Madison Square Garden. Nevertheless, he and his Indiana Pacers made sure that the gesture didn't come back to haunt them in a 138-135 victory in overtime over the New York Knicks on Wednesday in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. He scored 31 points and Aaron Nesmith added 30, highlighting an 8-for-9 performance from 3-point range by making 5 threes during the final 3.5 minutes of regulation. That surge allowed the 4th-seeded Pacers to overcome a 14-point deficit in the final 2:39 of the fourth quarter. Here's Tyrese Haliburton speaking to TNT Sports after that win.
Probably everybody in here imagined at one point that they would be an NBA player or something, and I think the biggest thing when you're growing up is everybody's on the playground or in the driveway or in the gym by themselves. You're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, shooting it, and if you miss it, nobody's around, so put more time on the clock, right? And I think for me, I was always encouraged me just to have an imagination, right? So I would be running down the hallway in my home, pretending there was a hoop and playing basketball and all those things. And I think that the biggest thing for me is I already have the confidence to take the shot in the moment.
Yeah, that was Tyrese Haliburton speaking after that awkward shots that delivered the goods for them. Finally, the Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay, who inherited the National Football League team from his father in 1997 to become the NFL's youngest club owner, has died. He died at the age of 65 on Wednesday, according to a family statement. During his long-time association with the team, he became the youngest general manager in Colts franchise history when he was named in 1984 after his father, Robert Irsay, and he moved the team to Indianapolis from Baltimore, ending the Joy Sports Center.
Thank you very much, my brother. It ended up in tears.
I'm fine.
It ended in tears. Well, let's go for food for thought, brought to us by Roverman Productions. The difference. And Koba Our Lives Simplified. Uncle, good morning.
Oh, Abo, you say my prayers are with you this morning.
It ended in tears.
Well, it depends on which side of the stadium you were standing.
Oh, everybody, my love for Manchester United, except that these days,
yes, I do.
It's become like how I support Hazakis. When you support Second D Hazakis, you know that you're not going to win. But your prayer is that you get into the league and avoid relegation. So it's like that. But it's okay. It's okay. I mean,
the first team I supported in Ghana was 11 Wives.
Oh, okay.
They will not win, but they will entertain you. Mm-hmm. You get beautiful soccer. But in the end, you go home with your heart broken.
Shushu. They call them the show boys. So shushu. But you should support the team. The only team that when they score a goal, you don't hear goal. You hear do. That's Second. Hazakis.
We could do.
You hear do. That feeling in the stadium, the whole stadium, you hear do. Yeah. That's Hazakis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so how would you say,
Uncle?
This is soccer. Next year is another time, another opportunity. But I would say I have something to tell you.
Please go ahead.
I think Man U must go and ask Alex Ferguson where he took the club in the years when he was in charge. That now no manager seems to be able to bring it up.
Okay. Uncle, should I tell you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, that is the Ghanaian in you.
Yeah, that's the Ghanaian in me. I make no apology for that.
Yes, that's the Ghanaian in you. And yes, we have to ask questions because this one there is some way, but it's okay. It's some way. Morino tried.
On the team, you can find him.
So the team, far baby.
So, man, you have an investigation to make. So
exactly.
Yesterday was the birthday of a special lady. She has been my choreographer for Roverman for more than 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Rebecca Abolozu Mensa. Becky, happy birthday, and may this be your best year yet. Winston, I am still in the mood of celebrating mothers, and I'm doing that by sharing stories of my own mother.
Okay.
Here is today's story. As I have said many times in my presentations over the years, my mother was a fishmonger at the Asafo market in the 60s right through to the 90s. Now, the life of a fishmonger, as it is for all market women, for that matter, is very hard. In the case of the fishmongers in Kumasi, life got even harder after the 1966 coup, when the State Fishing Corporation was allowed to collapse. The State Fishing Corporation was the main source of supply of fresh fish in Kumasi, with a big cold store at Edum. And when it collapsed, my mother and her colleagues had to travel to Tema Harbor to buy stocks of fish from Mankwaze and other private fishing companies. It was a very hard life for them. They traveled through the night to get to Tema in the morning, and then spent the day making their purchases, repackaging and rebranding them, and loading them onto cargo vans and dispatching those vans to Kumasi before they themselves left Tema. And this could be anywhere around 10 p.m. They would arrive in Kumasi at about 2 a.m. My mother would then rush home, take a nap, wake up at about 4 a.m. and then return to the market to receive the van with her stocks, which she had bought in Tema. And that was a schedule, and that of her other colleagues, 2 to 3 times a week.
Wow.
Now, because life was a struggle for these women, they found ways of relaxing and having fun, and they did that at funerals. My mother and her colleagues were forced to act prim and proper since they were wives and mothers, but I realized that at heart, they were just girls who wanted to have some fun from time to time, and funerals gave them the perfect excuse to have fun. So they did not miss funerals. At funerals, especially after the burial and after they have made their donation, they could let their hair down. And to ensure that they could have their fun, they would often contribute and buy their own drinks to take to the funerals. Or if they knew the town that well and knew there was a good beer bar there, then that would be their after burial spot. At one of those funerals outside Kumasi, I believe it was either at Bekwai or Kumewu, my mother was accompanied by 2 other women, Auntie Nyamiche, who was a peer of my mother, and Chrissy, who was much younger than the 2, but loved to roll with them. Chrissy was beautiful and had more or less adopted my mother as her mother, although her mother also sold fish at Asafo market.
Okay.
At the funeral, a gentleman saw Christy and was smitten by her beauty. He decided to woo her, and so he walked up to Christy and introduced himself as a wealthy timber merchant. Christy also introduced herself and her 2 quote-unquote mothers. That is my mother and Auntie Nyamiche. The gentleman determined to charm Chrissy and her quote-unquote mothers, said, "Oh, let's go to the beer bar across across this road so I can entertain you. By all means, the woman replied, and they followed him to the bar. I'm sure in the man's mind, these were women, and they couldn't drink that much. And so maybe a mini bottle of beer for each of them should be enough to score all the points he needed to win the beautiful Chrissy. And in that calculation, he had made the mistake a lot of men make, which is underestimating women.
Bam.
At the bar, the man asked the barman to bring them 4 mini bottles of beer. The woman said, mini bottles? No, let him bring the big bottles. The man smiled to hide his surprise and said, oh, no problem. Remember, he had introduced himself as a wealthy timber merchant, and so he had to act the part. So 4 large bottles of beer were delivered to the table, and the man, trying to be a real gentleman, offered to serve them. He filled their glasses before filling his. And then he lifted his glass to the women and said, cheers, oh. They clinked glasses and took their glasses to their lips. The man took a slow sip and put his glass down. Winston, by the time he did that, the three women had emptied their respective glasses at one. This time, they refilled the glasses themselves and left 3 empty bottles on the table. The man blinked. He could not believe how quickly they had finished. They had each finished a full bottle. And then he made the second mistake of the day. He asked the woman, do you care for more? He was expecting them to say, oh no, we have had enough. But to his alarm, they said, by all means. So 3 large bottles were delivered to the table again. The women served themselves this time and filled their glasses and emptied them and refilled them. They did not show any signs that they had just consumed 2 large bottles of beer each. Meanwhile, the quote-unquote timber merchant had not finished his first glass of beer. He immediately realized he was in trouble, so he decided to cut his losses. He said to the women, ladies, please excuse me, I need to go and pee. I'll be right back. By all means, the women said. And with that, he got up and made his way towards what the women assumed was the direction of the washrooms. Apparently, there was another exit at the back, and that was it. Self-styled timber merchant never returned. But my mother and her friends just took the development in their stride. They ensured they had a great time and then paid the bill and left. You see, these women always carried money on them, and they were not the kind of women who were waiting for a man to make their day. You know, a lot of men make the mistake of underestimating women. And I have discovered that men who make that mistake find themselves running away. Women make the attempt to know and understand men. They don't always get it right, but at least they try. Men, on the other hand, make little or no effort to know and understand women. The result, most love relationships are nothing but mismatches between women who are better informed and men who have little or no clue. The man at the funeral, the self-styled timber merchant, I'm sure will make other mistakes with women. But Winston, I don't think he would ever assume again that he could outdrink a woman. And I want to say, that's my presentation for this morning.
Oh, so the man ran away.
Or maybe he will turn up tomorrow.
No, he should have. In fact, he should have seen the bartender earlier and indicated that they should just. He should say they have only mini. You know, when we were at the university, one of my friends, these girls said, "Oh, let's go to a plush place." He was in level 400. I was in level 300.
Okay.
We went there, and then he quickly went to the bar guys and said, you know what? There's only one bowl of fufu left. That one is for me. Anything they ask, you don't have. Do you understand? And then he tips the person. So he goes back. The lady says, I want this. We don't have it. I want this. We don't have it. He says, okay, you let me finish my fufu, and then we'll go and find something else to do. So, sometimes you have to quickly go and see the bartender, balance a thing or two, and then you know that you're good to go. But this story, timber merchant, anyway. Uncle, thank you so much for joining us with Food for Thought this morning.
Enjoy the weekend. How about you, sir?
Thank you very much, Uncle Ebo, with Food for Thought this morning, brought to us by Roverman Productions, Be the Difference, and Koba, Our Lives Simplified. Time now for the Joy Business Minute. We apologize for bringing it to you late. It's brought to us by Anointed Engineering Services, the generator experts.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you and Anointed Engineering Services, the generator experts. The Ghana Stock Exchange Index recorded over 30% growth in the first quarter of the year, beating its competitors in the West African sub-region as the best securities market. Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Johnson Isiama has warned path to full economic stability is fraught with risk, justifying push for fresh measures to contain inflation and thirst to growth. Data from the Energy Commission has revealed that the Electricity Company of Ghana recorded power losses amounting to 32% of its total electricity purchases in 2024. And Nike says it will raise the prices of some products from the 1st of June, with the increases hitting everything from shoes to clothing as a result of tariff uncertainties. And that's the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you and Anointed Engineering Services, the generator experts.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And Anointed Engineering Services Limited is into the sale of ultra silent, fuel efficient diesel generating sets. The situation where all your neighbors have their lights out, and then only you have a genset and is making a lot of noise. No, go to Anointed Electricals, because for them they give you the ultra silent, fuel efficient diesel generating sets with sizes ranging from 5 kVA to 3000 kVA at competitive prices. And for every generator you acquire, you'll enjoy a 5-year warranty. They also undertake maintenance and repairs of all kinds of diesel generating sets. And their services include a 24-hour emergency service, sale of genuine spare parts, reliable rental service, professional advice, sale of tile lights and rental. Locate their latest branch at Pokwasi White House opposite Eco Block, and head office at number 77 Anointed House on the main Odoko Malam Highway near the Odoko traffic light. They also have 21 branches nationwide. They're into skills training. They have a training school that trains students in generators and plants, auto mechanics, electricals and controls and solar installations. Now, they offer 80% hands-on training and 20% theory. So call them now on 0243 480 334 or 0540 109 493. Anointed, the generator experts.
Riverman Productions, in partnership with National Theatre and Joy FM, presents an Uncle Ebo White special, Love on the Ropes. On their wedding anniversary, the fighting gloves were laced. Don is a retired boxing champion turned politician who has spent years guarding a secret that is potent enough to destroy his marriage. Aisha, his wife, is a bold, brilliant influencer and social media sensation who wants the truth from her husband. And she wants it live on her podcast with thousands watching. What begins as a celebration of love becomes a dramatic showdown. Love on the Ropes shows at the National Theatre on the June 27th, 28th, 29th, and July 6th, 7th, and 8th. Show times: Fridays at 7 p.m. 1 show only, Saturdays at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. 2 shows only, and Sundays at 1 p.m. 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. 3 shows. From now till 15th of June, buy early tickets for the shows at 250 Ghana cedis only on the Koba short code *365*535#. The price of the ticket will revert to the usual 300 Ghana cedis after the promotion. You can also buy a ticket on the Rover app or via Roverman's website website www.rovermanproductions.com. For inquiries and large purchase, kindly call 050-554-6010 or send a WhatsApp to 050-554-6030. You can also follow us on all social media platforms. You can buy tickets now. Love on the Ropes. It's brought to you by Koba, Gino Jollof Mix, and Taylor's Tea Communications Partners, and M Notify and Logistics, the logistics movers as well. Roverman Productions, be that difference. Love on the Ropes.
I see you got excited reading everything about how, you know, a retired boxer
turned politician,
and
who's guarding his secret. Aisha, his wife, a bold, brilliant influencer and social media sensation who wants the truth from her husband and wants it live on her podcast. I hope I saw that.
In the end, the truth will set you free.
Yes, say the truth and be free.
Yes. Yeah, it's guarding his marriage. Oh, did you get the truth?
Yes, in a podcast.
This is.
But you should not light a candle and put it under the table.
No,
you should not tell the truth in private. You should tell it in public.
Should we tell all the truth in marriage?
Why not?
Why not?
Oh, for two married men, I'm happy to hear this. It's encouraging to hear this.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's how you
all
say
the no.
Say the truth. There's one day I was emceeing a wedding. This is just an illustration.
Yes.
But I was emceeing a wedding years ago. I think I was about 18 or 19 years ago. And then this woman told the man, tell your wife the truth in everything that you do.
Yes.
And that once upon a time, a man was working, but times had become very hard. So he started taking something from the office to the house.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm using for illustration.
Yeah.
Then he told the wife.
Yes.
So one day, the company decided they were going to search the guy's house. But because he had told the wife was walking through town and got the information and quickly ran to the house.
And she hid the things.
She hid the things because she knew that's what the husband was doing. That's a bad thing anyway. But
tell the truth. For example, instead of telling your wife that I went to Kumasi by being on an STC bus, you can say I displaced my position from Accra to Kumasi by using locomotive action at a speed of. It is the same thing.
It's still the same thing. It's the truth.
It's not the same thing, Bia.
But how did you get there?
How did you displace your physical self from Accra to Kumasi?
You know, I'll tell you a funny thing. The reason I say you should tell the truth. I mean, there's been times that I get a call from my wife and says, "Oh, where are you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm here." So, okay, I'm behind you.
I got a similar call yesterday. Where are you? I said, "Oh, I'm at School Junction." I said, "Okay."
Just imagine.
Are you able to tell the answer from the question that the wife is asking?
No.
Can you tell
the tone?
That this is
See, the point is that if you are here,
yes,
say you are.
Oh yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah,
because she knows where you're going to sit. She knows. Oh, he probably will be. You and do boys, and so yes, I am here, because you don't know who may have seen you. And you now the moment you lie, you know the next question that women will give you. So everything that you told me, is it a lie? My guy, how do you defend that? Are people say the truth and shame the devil?
Yes. Tell the truth. Oh, did you eat today? Yes, I ate. What did you eat? Then the questions follow. So, did you eat today? You can say yes. I engage in an act of moving substances through peristalsis via my cardiac sphincter to. You've told the truth.
My mother used to always tell me that it's easier to defend a mistake than a lie. Yeah. So if you have the principle of just always saying what you've done, if it turns out that you've done the wrong thing, it's easier to defend that than to know you've done the wrong thing, lie about it. Now you have to defend the lie as well as the wrong
truth,
thing. Look, you know.
You see.
Oh, Winston, so did you spend that 1,000 cedis that was on there? No. I invested it in hydrocarbons for our car.
Yes, that's very important.
To make the car move.
You know, there's a man that when I say I'm going to see him, when I tell my wife, "Oh, I'm going to see this man," she goes like, "Do you have your key?"
Yeah.
Take it. So one day we were there and the man said, "Ujafo, young Kofi, na ekadeba moha, musi meche, wife who there I exist, and I am not
Yes.
an imaginary person.
Yes.
Lo and behold, it turned out that that's the uncle. I didn't even know.
Yes.
Oh.
It's like that.
So now you have a very good excuse.
Family meeting. Social media messages.
Full exit granted.
Brought to us by EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa. And number 10, liver salt, a refreshing relief.
All right. Every day, people face different emergencies: police emergency, fire emergency, medical emergency, you name it. But many Ghanaians don't know the emergency numbers. Well, here is one you'd want to remember: *770#. Yes, *770# is the EcoBank Money Emergency number. *770# gives you instant access to loans, fund transfers, utility bill payments, airtime and data purchases, and so much more. You don't need internet for this. Just dial *770#. No need to panic in any money emergency. EcoBank will always come to your rescue. Dial *770# now for solutions to your money emergencies. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
EcoBank Mobile, they make me say, EcoBank Mobile, they make me crazy. Download it and use it. It gon' make your life so easy, yeah. Download it. You go enjoy it. In my Brahmin check. In my Brahmin check. Come make a download them for you. Cause you can pay bills, you can buy credit, you can pay school fees, even church tights with the Apple. EcoBank Apple.
Life is easy with the EcoBank mobile app. You can pay your bills, transfer to and from mobile wallet, virtual card creation, transfer to other banks, express account opening, scan and pay, express cash, all at your fingertips with the EcoBank mobile app. You know, it's 5-star life with EcoBank. Can promise.
We shouldn't have gone to that party.
Massa, my head is killing me. Is that your stomach?
Yes.
What did you eat?
I don't know.
Get rid of your gastric problems with number 10 liver salt. Number 10 gives you quick, effective relief from nausea, indigestion, heartburns, hangovers, and hyperacidity. And with different fruity flavors such as orange and lemon, it's a pretty tasty way to end an uncomfortable situation. Number 10 liver salt from Ernest Chemist, because everyone needs a chemist.
This advert has been vetted and approved by FDA.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show. The small love on the ropes that you can't want to pay. Even during the break, guys are debating. Anyway, let's get into big stories this morning. Uncle Ebo White, the Assembly Bar. And big stories brought to us by Telecel Connecting Energies and Yomi Yogurt, a nourishing choice.
Telecel Cash, your secure and convenient cash platform, is still offering the lowest charges ever. Even better, sending money from Telecel Cash to Telecel Cash is still free on the Telecel Play app. So whether you're paying school fees or sending cash to your favorite people, send it keke. Remember, you can make payments to all other networks anywhere cash transfer is accepted as a means of payment. Dial *110# or download the Telecel Play app today. Now send it keke.
Now, if you are ready to dream, then deliver in the world of IT, look no further than Jackson Institute of Technology, the only NIIT authorized training center in Ghana. At GIT, they provide world-class IT training for individuals and corporate organizations. They equip you with industry-relevant skills in software development, cybersecurity, networking, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, digital marketing, and more. And they also offer globally recognized certifications, practical job-ready training, and they have a hybrid learning option for you, so you can work and study. You can study online or on-site, whatever your preference. Jackson makes it available to you. So find them on the Ring Road near Circle in the heart of Accra Central Business District, and in Kumasi find them at the Jackson Educational Complex headquarters, IUDRC near KNUST. And they also have a state-of-the-art auditorium available for corporate events, seminars, and training sessions. So if you want to have a Tell the Truth seminar, you can call them and book that auditorium. Call them on 059 699 6037, 055 271 4635. Or visit their website jit.edu.gh. JIT, your gateway to a thriving IT career.
Now,
Thank you,
is it not KNUST now? A lot of the students live there.
Yes. But you know, KNUST covers Eija land, Bomso land, Ayensan land, Kote land, Aidiase land. Yes, so you can say Aidiase KNUST, you can say Eija KNUST, Bomso KNUST.
But the students live there. It's just like you go to the University of Cape Coast and Amamuma, Kwapro.
Yeah,
it's all university land.
Yes. They're all university lands. I remember when we were there, the university I think had won a case, to take back its land.
Yeah.
And the then Central Regional Minister said, "What? Election year, forget."
You see how the universities have catalyzed the growth of the towns and cities they are in. So by citing KNUST where it is, because Eija used to be traditionally a forest area. Airija, that's where the king would leave his wives when they were going for war, for protection. Now by citing KNUST there, the communities around have all developed and it's become a huge area.
Yeah.
Now the Somanya University, I foresee that in the next 10 years, all the areas around that university are going to grow. Now, if we cited our new national capital in another place, it's also going to catalyze growth. So when we revisit that conversation, we'll do a deeper analysis of...
The thing about development is that there's always what you term as a spread effect.
Yeah.
So when you use infrastructure, there could be a spread effect.
Yeah.
So the harbour, for instance, in the light industrial area, spread to Bumanit's areas.
Yeah.
And even when Central University was built at Milcho, people started moving there.
Yeah.
In the past, the conversation had been new airport.
Yeah.
It wasn't really working. But the moment a university moved there, this is what happened. People started building hostels. So now when you're going to live there, okay, so there are students around.
Yeah.
It's okay. Then people start moving there.
Yeah.
Okay. Others would want to get closer.
Yeah.
And so that's how you do that. But of course, in there is a conversation about the development of slums, because there's a school of thought that actually says, well, it's true that major cities develop on the back of a slum.
Yeah.
They always will live a slum.
Because the development stage actually would have slums, having workers living in the slums and all those. But Winston, there's something to be said about new development and naming, please, real estate companies. We are okay with the hills. Why? Because almost all the places that are the new places called hills, the places are flooding. Can you call some place something hills and the place gets flooded?
Oh, you want to about Santo? Anachrome area, East Legon Hills.
You just brand the name, leave the hills out. We will buy the lands and we'll buy the houses.
This morning on the Super Morning Show, we need to talk about our leaders and how detached they are from the people, and how as a people we insulate our leaders from our realities. Should we continue doing that? Well, it's about time we said, you know what? We're a poor country. So why do we give you all the money pretending that is actually going to prevent you from dipping your fingers or hands in our coffers, when the reality is that the job assigned to you, you are underperforming and you are not delivering? For how long? Kojo Boateng, Kojo Yankson and Emefa Adeti, shall we continue to pamper our leaders? It's so difficult for the ordinary man to get a tax waiver, but our leaders will get it when they buy the best of cars. In fact, they are giving loans to purchase vehicles every 4 years if you're a member of parliament. In 2021, the conversation was, give us vehicles. Don't give us loans. Loans that the state pays 60% at interest. They said they didn't want it. Members of the Council of State are provided with vehicles. So why shouldn't MPs be provided with vehicles? But for me, the question is, why is it that if I am a poor teacher posted to a rural area and I need a vehicle, I can't get a tax waiver. But the person who can afford rather gets it. What sort of a country are we building?
Also, let's ask a few questions around the theme, okay? For example, as a member of parliament or as members of parliament, must every perk go to every MP? Or should we attempt to target the perks and benefits to those who need them the most? If you are a member of parliament from Nalerigu and you have to live somewhere in Accra in order to attend parliament, it makes sense that we would provide you with accommodation. But if you are the member of parliament for La, should you also be given accommodation by the state? Should we not, as a poor country, and let's really provide that context, a poor country with problems, should we not be applying some home economics to the way we dole out these perks and benefits to leaders, especially since we are yet to reap the benefits of performance from these leaders?
Talking about performance, Kojo and Winston, how do you even measure the performance of an MP, really, when I like to think their very basic responsibility is lawmaking? How do I measure the performance when I enter my community and I have an MP? How do I measure that, well, I have an MP, but the primary focus is that he is to make laws that will benefit me in parliament. And yet I'm expecting him to make the roads, construct roads, give me the amenities that would benefit me as how do I do that measurement?
Yeah, well, that's, you see, what is required is some clarity in our expectations and requirements of, our political leaders. Roads and amenities are the job of the executive. The job of parliament is to check the executive. That's their job. And it's easy to measure them against their performance in that area. It's easy. And it's necessary. Not only easy, but necessary. Here in Ghana, we tend to give people jobs, and then when it comes to monitoring and evaluating their work, that one, we just leave it to chance. Meanwhile, even God, when he was creating the earth, at the end of every day, he assessed his work. The Bible says it, and God saw this and it was good. He assessed his own work. We, made in his image, we want to just do whatever we like, take pay, go home, and nobody will even check to see whether we have produced what we promised to produce.
Well, Emefa asked a very important question. How do we assess MPs? So there's the level of the legislature and then the executive. And I think for MPs, for me, it's simple. They are there for legislative work. So their legislative output is something I'll look out for. Their contribution in parliament, sponsoring bills, co-sponsoring, and all those things. That's number one. Their oversight activities. MPs should be able to look out for what is happening, because I see them, if Ghana were a company, I see parliament as the board, right? So as the board, they set the strategic vision of sorts for us. Even though the executive will submit their budget and their program and activities, MPs must agree that this is good for us and pass it. And once you do that, you have the responsibility to oversee that is being done. That's also one key thing for me. And so there are about 5 areas, but these are the 2 key ones for me. So that is the whole thing for me. But let's also ask ourselves this question. We are talking about public leaders and their entitlements. We are talking about the fact that they are disconnected from the system. But what are the best practices? And what should we expect? For example, who is the Minister of Health? Mr.
Akando.
Health Ministry has over 15 or so $billion Ghana cedis budgeted for them this year. So if the Health Ministry were a business, it's a multi-billion Ghana cedi business, which is expected to deliver certain outcomes. In that regard, for the quantum of work he has to do and the responsibility based on him, what is a commensurate reward for the amount of work he will do? Because earlier, and largely, we always say that public service is sacrificial. I have always not felt public service should be sacrificial. If we are getting the right people in positions, if their responsibilities are clearly spelled out, the outcomes are there. And as Emefa said, if you are monitoring and evaluating and tracking, if you are running a multi-billion city business at that level, strategy, execution, and everything, it must come with the perks. Look, if you go to any of the big institutions, yesterday Newmont gave us some 200 and something million from the sale of the Achim mine, right? The top exec at Newmont in Ghana, he's chopping good money because their deliverables is expected to deliver, right? So I think that in running the business called Ghana, we need to look for the best brains for each sector of the economy. And that, in looking for the best brains, it must come with attractive rewards, so that a Kwekumenu who is a vice president of, say, General Electric somewhere, if not for our political shenanigans and the way we do things, at the end of the season could come down to Ghana and be appointed energy minister or something, because Charlie, he's done it and seen it and he can deliver. And in attracting this big brain, you must reward them accordingly. To look, you are giving them a responsibility. It must come with good rewards, and we must have a structure such that if you do not deliver, you go.
I have a slightly different view. Slightly different. I agree that generally you should reward effort, right? And talent should attract.
No, you should reward results.
You should. Thank you. Results, and talent should attract remuneration, right? But any entrepreneur, including yourself, would agree with me that they would much rather hire good attitude than experience. Someone with the right attitude is far more valuable than someone with the right experience. And that applies in public service, even more so. So my thinking is that public service should actually come with the ethos of sacrifice. The concept being that you are coming to serve with your skills and abilities, not with the aim of making a profit. Now, that is how you will attract people who perhaps already have their own source of income, but are skilled, are capable, but they are not coming because of how much you are going to pay them. They are not coming because of what perks they are going to get. They don't need those perks, right? I want someone who is capable, who has the attitude that, you know what, this job will not pay me $1 million. It's not going to fill my bank account, but I want to help my country.
So that 35-year-old whiz kid who just completed university, done some work elsewhere, 4 years, he's not built wealth for himself. But we know that this guy, when we put him at, say, digitizing, if we give him the responsibility of digitizing the economy, this guy can do it.
Yes.
Should he come with a sense of sacrifice? Or a sense of
sacrifice?
You know what, guys?
Sacrifice.
That's not sustainable, though.
Why not? It happens elsewhere.
I need to go for a quick break. When I return, we'll continue with the conversation, right? Stay with us, and you can also join the conversation. Join us on X, use the hashtag JoySMS, and then on WhatsApp 055-1111-997.
Auntie T, abeg, fix me gobetete Ghana. No garri, no oil, no plantain, just beans then eggs.
Hey, brah, that be dangerous combination, no?
Problem no day. I fit handle am.
For Telecel, we the Bob say everybody gets what they like. That be why Made For Me bundles day. Based on your usage, you fit get your own la. Made For Me bundles like the way you the want them. That *530#, then buy Made For Me bundles today.
Telecel. Connecting energies.
Do you know that NIT is back in Ghana? Yes, you heard it right. NIT is back in Ghana, and Jackson Institute of Technology is the official partner. It's bigger, it's better, and it's here to revolutionize IT education in Ghana. Get ready for world-class training and unmatched opportunities powered by Jackson Institute of Technology. Jackson Institute of Technology is shaping futures with hands-on IT training for youth, students, and professionals. Courses include cyber cybersecurity, Python programming, data analytics, networking and hardware essentials, and Microsoft Office Suite. We offer flexible schedules, affordable payment plans, and expert trainers with globally recognized certifications. Scholarships are available for women and girls. Sign up early to grab yours. You can locate us in Accra at Abna Atia Towers, Ring Road Central, or you can call us to enroll on 059 699 6037 or 059 699 6042. Take the first step towards your dream career with Jackson Institute of Technology, where your tech future begins.
Paying or getting paid? Koba day for you.
Driver, I don't have cash on you.
Oh, madam, you can pay through Koba.
Oh, you use Koba too? That makes it easy.
Receive payment from your customers and make bulk payment in just a few clicks.
Madam, I received the money.
Hello, Coffee.
Mom, you still haven't sent me the airtime, and the house internet is finished. My game.
I'm sorry, darling. Doing that right away.
With Koba, you can send airtime to your friends and family and load data for some great entertainment.
Madam, here are the foodstuff.
Thank you.
You can use the short code *365# or the Koba mobile app to make your payment.
Get a designated short code today and start receiving payment with real-time visibility into all your payments with Koba. Pay your suppliers and staff in just a few clicks. For more information, call 0200 404010.
Koba, there you click pew
and you hear pew pew. Transaction done.
Koba, our life simplified.
Are you tired of rising fuel costs and frequent service and maintenance draining your budget? Are you a transport business thinking of the best eco-friendly and cost-saving option for a car? Then switch to the Cerio Nano 3 electric vehicle. The Cerio Nano 3 EV is proudly marketed and distributed in Ghana by Anointed Engineering Services Limited. The sleek Cerio Nano 3 electric vehicle, with its advanced technology and high performance, emits zero emissions because it does not run on fossil fuels. No need to worry about a charging station because you can charge your Cerio at home directly by plugging into the socket. The Cerio Nano 3 electric vehicle offers unmatched comfort, interior design, fast charging, long-lasting battery, and a portable digital ultra-silent genset for backup charging no matter your power situation anywhere. Visit our brand new and ultra-modern showrooms in Accra and Kumasi. In Kumasi, Asukwa, in front of the TAT yard on the Ak Mayanka Road. Call our hotlines on 0544 340589 and 0243 480 334. Anointed also stocks genuine spare parts and delivers after-sales services 24/7 for our Cerio Nano 3 EVs. The Cerio Nano 3 electric vehicle. Experience a legacy of luxury modernized. Cerio EV. Go electric.
Ah, my little ones, gather around. Once upon a time in the heart of Accra, a man in his fancy car sought directions. But oh, the Ghanaian way.
Hello, bro. Good afternoon. Can you please show me where the Presby Church is? Go straight. 10 left at the big mango tree with the broken branches with most of the mangoes falling. Ask there. Anybody will show you.
And when the Black Stars take to the field, every Ghanaian becomes a coach. Ah, the sacred cue for our beloved Gobe. As you wait patiently, rehearsing the perfect vibes. These, my dear ones, are some few moments that make our Ghana truly special. And as we share these stories, let us also remember a plate of lele rice, connecting our hearts through the flavors of our culture. Special moments are worth celebrating with lele rice. Lele rice, yenimno fritite. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And before the break, the two Kojos and Emefa, Akosua, Adeti, were engaged in debates like that. Don't worry, I'll give you guys all the time. Today I'm the moderator. But before we conclude the debate, this August, Adansi Travels is turning up the excitement as part of its 12 years of delivering unforgettable travel experiences. Now, get ready to see more Feel more and explore some of the world's most exciting destinations, from fun-filled family adventures in Dubai to romantic getaways in Asia, thrilling escapes with friends in South Africa, or that long-awaited dream trip across Europe. You know the question I want to ask? You know, years ago when I was going to Addis Ababa with Adansi, at the time the city was depreciating, and they're advertising cities. Now the lessons they learned was to now, do it in dollars. Now that the city is appreciating also, and they may have done the arrangements prior, what happens? It's just a question that came to mind. Since they are my friends, I'm just well, it's not just travel. So when you're going to pay, you go and pay in dollars. You know, they have the last time someone called me said, please, the way the city is appreciating the school fees, you know, they have their own rate. I say, when it is time and they give you rate that is above the interbank rate, draw attention. They must give you rates that are the same. But look, call Adansi now on 0595 500 817 or 0531 008 550 or visit adansitravels.com to book your spot. Charlie, let's make memories together this August. And you know, Adansi at 12, it's they say what? See more, feel more.
Love it. All right, now we all want a little more security when life gets unpredictable, a little more protection for our loved ones, because let's face it, life is always better when you have more. So let me put you on to Absa Assure account. The Absa Assure account is not just a banking product, it's a chance to have more than you expect. Absa Assure account gives you domestic and commercial accident insurance cover, as well as hospitalization benefits, permanent disability benefits, death cover, and a bundle of essential banking services, all for a single fee. So no multiple payments, just one fee for everything. You want more? Of course you do, because more is always better. So if you do indeed want more, simply sign up with Absa today. Your story matters. Absa.
Now, every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, foul breath. Brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter gives your teeth the protection they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is fortified with perfluoride and microcalcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invincible holes in your teeth. This prevents cavities, keeps your teeth strong and mouth healthy. Pepsodent Cavity comes in 175 grams big family pack, 120 grams Ejakwa pack, 65 grams and 12 gram sachets, so you can always get what you can afford at any time. Don't just use toothpaste that brush your teeth, use Pepsodent that protect your teeth. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent has been educating Ghanaians on how to brush their teeth for 25 years. Pepsodent is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association. Pepsodent gives you the opportunity to talk to a dentist as well for free. You can call 0800 16 1000 to talk to a dentist for free. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you. Call our customer care center 0800 2030. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
Winston, let me say happy birthday to His Lordship David Boafo. Before he became His Lordship, I would easily have said Pescoba David Boafo, but now he has that title. So, Your Lordship, happy birthday to you.
Today is also the birthday of Justice Akabuafo.
Is that the same person?
No.
David, I don't know David.
No, this one is not called. Justice Kweku Akabuafo.
Yes.
Today is his birthday.
I know him. He's a good friend of mine.
Yes. So today is his birthday. Justice of the Court of Appeal.
Yeah.
And it's coming from your brother Kojo Yankson to you. So happy birthday.
Yeah. So
to you,
they are both justices of the Court of Appeal, eh?
Okay.
Yes, I think David is also. So happy birthday to you. Now let me tell you about the Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana. They are mandated to promote the study of banking and regulate the practice of the banking profession in the country. And they're organizing the National Banking and Ethics Challenge, which is a quiz competition for investees. It's organized by CIB to promote ethical standards, banking knowledge, and strengthening the public trust and resilience in the banking industry in Ghana. It's happening on the 29th of May 2025 at the CIB Ghana Auditorium, East Legon. The time is 9 a.m. And the institutions participating in the maiden edition are the University of Ghana, University of Professional Studies, Wisconsin University, Academic City University, and the Pentecost University. The winning university will take home a trophy, cash prize, certificate of participation, internship opportunities, and scholarship for the ACIB program. Joy Business is a partner of the 2025 National Banking and Ethics Challenge. So watch out for that. 29th of May 2025, CIB Auditorium.
Yeah.
Winston, are you going to be the quiz master?
No, I am not the quiz master, but I'll be there.
Okay.
I'm not the quiz master. Anyway, so guys, you're making a point. I had to interrupt and acknowledge our sponsors, our partners on the show. Yes, Kojo Yankson, you have a minute and a half to conclude your point.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I think my point is actually quite simple. I believe that talent will always be required. The public sector will require talent. But if talent wants to attract money, talent should go to the private sector, where you can still do good. You can set up a company, you can employ lots of people, you can solve problems in society. We will all benefit from you, but you will also get money. I believe that talent that comes to the private sector should come only because they want to serve. And that talent also exists. We want to attract only them. We want them to come with the intention that, look, I'm not here to make money. I'm here to solve a problem for the state, and I will not profit from this process. Like, I want them to come with that thinking, because guess what? When you are in public service, you get benefits anyway. Even if you are not paid astronomically high, you still get certain benefits of protocol and protection. As a minister, as an MP, there are certain courtesies that will be extended to you that the ordinary person cannot have. These are benefits. But if we are going to gather all our wealth and share it among our public servants and give them all kinds of perks, I mean, how can we allow you to go and buy a $200,000 car and we will pay 60% plus the interest? 100,000, is it? Okay.
100,000.
All right. $100,000 car. Then we will pay 60%. The state will pay $60,000 plus the interest for every single one of the MPs that takes a loan. And then the MP will pay only 40,000 and then come and sit in parliament. I mean, my point is, and this is the point I will wrap up on. My point is this: we want talent, we want the best, but more importantly, we want the right attitude. We want the people who will come with the intention of solving problems, not making money.
Okay. Kojo Boateng.
Yes, Winston. When it comes to the public service, there are certain things that, to me, don't make sense. Right. For example, the fact that consistently we give MPs loans and the state absorbs about 60% and they pay just about 40%, it doesn't make sense to me. Because I believe that what is good for them in that context, if we can afford to do that, we should be able to replicate it in other areas so that you and I can also go for loans and the state will take 60%, they will pay 40%. Right. For example, if I go to, and I've made this example before, DVLA, you have a premium service. You've run the premium service for about 3-4 years. What lessons have you learned from that premium service, and why can't you replicate that premium service or able to get that same efficiency everywhere and not have to pay an arm and a leg for that? So that's one. So I agree with you when it comes to some of the perks and everything, but on attracting talent for the system. Look, I have been through FMCG. I've done media, radio, TV, online, and print. I've done agribusiness. I've done crowdfunding. I do agric infrastructure consulting. And in all these roles that I've seen myself, and I do technology, there's always a target. When we did our national service at Coca-Cola, fresh out of uni, the target they will put on your head, you are selling truckloads of Coca-Cola every day, and you get paid for that. So when regular national service people were taking 200 and 250 cedis, we were taking 700 cedis because we had to earn our keep. In the same way, if you go to the private sector, people who earn so much within various places, there are checks and balances and the expectations of them. For me, I think that Ghana being 60 years old, we need to start looking at things differently when it comes to our public space. So that, let's say, a Ghana so and so bank if there is a change in government and the president needs to appoint new people to be CEOs and MDs, it should be open competitively so that people who qualify for that role will apply. They go through a competitive search and recruitment process. They are given the job and targets, and they have to deliver. We cannot have our NIBs and our big banks and state assets struggling because we've been doing the same things the same way every day. Let's have a different approach. So, Kojo, I agree with you. That's some of the things, they don't make sense.
Okay.
But there are certain things too we must do differently. So it's not about sacrifice here.
So, Kojo Boateng.
Yes, boss.
Now, so you make the point of the health ministry, for instance. Yes. So if we were to run it like that, run it this way, the health ministry will be the group. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the group office.
MTN group.
Yes.
Yes.
The group.
And then there are the other opcos.
Okay. It means you've set them up.
Yeah.
And that's you're giving direction. Right. Good. Now, let's use an entity, say the National Health Insurance Authority.
Yep.
I say if you run the National Health Insurance Authority very well, streamline its budgeting very well, I do not think that President Mahama will go and launch a universal health care and be asking people to donate.
Exactly.
So if you do that, if you go and bring somebody who does that, you're paying the person well, and the person is able to achieve that, I don't have a problem. For these agencies of state, if we bring in people and if they do, because look, if we attract these talents and they run it like how they will run a private business, making profit, and he's being paid 150,000 Ghana cedis a month.
Even dollars.
I don't care.
We don't care.
Because at the end of the day, he's running it well. But where we just put party people in there who see it as a reward for what they did a year ago, and so, or see it as a reward for contributing funds to the victory of a political party.
And their time to chop.
What they're going to do is to walk in there and just milk the states. What they're going to do is to walk in there and just begin to think about procurement.
Yeah.
So, for me, I say this all the time, because if I look at how much we earn, the whole idea of the National Health Insurance Scheme, what we run, is that because you and I here have private insurance, we're working and have private insurance. Many of us don't use the National Health Insurance. So the people, and we have contributions going to SNIT. I mean, SNIT contributions going to the National Health Insurance Authority monthly.
Yeah.
SNIT pays hundreds of millions of Ghana cedis to the NHIA monthly. However, we have an insurance scheme that we'll use. So that is supposed to help those who may not have the private insurance and thus have resorted to the states. I do not, in God's name, see why the president should be going to launch a scheme and be asking me, Winston Amoah,
to contribute.
I will not contribute.
So you see, Churchill. Forgive me,
moderator.
You are going power.
I'm summing up the conversation.
I'll take the rest of all the time. I'm waiting.
You are summing up. What is your number? What is your number?
If you put anybody in charge of a bank recently, and I'm going to say this, when GCB Bank declared, lots of profit,
paid dividends
and all, good. So the next person who takes over must improve upon that performance.
So you mean Farhan Al Hassan, who is the new MD?
Yes, must improve upon that performance. You don't just sit back, make losses, and then come back and say, you deserve increment. So what use are you to the company?
Yeah.
Then when it gets to our parliament, I'm wrapping up on this. You see, the whole essence of democracy is check and balance. But check and balance in the interest of the people. So the most important institution in democracy is the legislature. Because as people, we go and elect a president. And the president is trusted with the power to appoint ministers to help him govern. But in that same election, we're saying that because we're giving the president executive power, our power, we are asking you, members of parliament, to go and check him to make sure that everything he does is that which we want him to do. Is the reason we say parliament is the control of the public purse. It is the reason when the Auditor General actually audits, he sends it to Parliament. It is the reason when you need to spend, you go to Parliament and say, this is how much I intend to spend. And where there's the need to vary, you go back to Parliament to say, this is what I intend to do. So the country's Parliament is expected to be the most important institution that should ensure that there's accountability, first of all, to the people who put them there. Look, I'm sure you may have seen that post that talks about in the past when people went to Parliament and everything. I'll end on this note because you talked about
Moderator, you're overrunning.
Moderator is over-moderating. Allow.
What don't we know? No, hang on. What don't we know?
Adeti hasn't spoken.
What don't we know? I asked a simple question.
No. My moderator is on course.
What don't we know, moderator? What don't we know?
I am actually bringing to the fore the problems. Haven't identified the gap. We are filling the gap now.
Yeah.
So let me fill the gap. You see, the problem is when you tell your members of parliament that they should be given a share of the common fund. Member of parliament, go and check the executive. You say the executive should give you some money to go and engage in developmental projects. The moment you do that, you are becoming like the executive. And so, when we were parliamentary correspondents in those days, you hear people saying, Enkasa na president or your deputy minister, another minister. That's what they go to do in parliament. I think that, and once they're doing the constitutional review, whatever, I end on this note. No member of parliament has any business being close to the executive. Go and do your work. We have put
not even on boards of.
They don't deserve to be.
Especially not on boards. It defeats the whole purpose of checks and balances. It defeats the whole purpose.
How can you be a board member of an institution?
Of my time because Winston has just made the whole point.
A board member of an institution that you are supposed to check.
But our body is not enough.
Hey. So you cannot check your own self. You cannot check your. And in a minute we'll go on phone and speak to Kuku Party. Well, thank you for giving me the floor. And Winston landed on the point that makes so much sense, that you cannot really check your own self if the executive is so much full of people from still the legislature. Where lies the accountability? It takes me back to the question that how do I measure the output of my MP? Now, I'll go back to your earlier one when you said that young person who is going to take a role in civil service should go with a mindset of service. That amounts to volunteerism. Listen, even the big NGOs, when you work for them or you provide a certain service, they pay you. They pay you, and I cannot see how that can be very sustainable if a young person who is supposed to also take care of themselves is going to work with a service of what I'm going to serve. It will still come back to the point where what the committee that was set up for emolument to do, that listen, we don't want people dipping their hands into the coffers. We're going to go there, which means that it boils down to accountability. So as we have it now, how are we able to demand accountability of all institutions so that when you're going there, we give you what you deserve. What you work for is what you're paid for. But we have systems that are being able to check for accountability.
Let me answer this one for you in a minute.
I think I must rebut since you are all on one side against my position.
In a minute, in the US, in the UK, everything you vote on is known. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, we should institute that in Ghana's parliament, where if you're about to vote, vote for us to know how you voted. Let us know your positions. Yes, it's very important. We must know your position. Okay, there are people who have gone against the whip system in the UK. They do it all the time. They go against the whip system. They tell you that's not my position.
Because you are there for your people,
Let
not
us know
for your
what you
party.
think. But let's get on to the phone lines. Let's get on to the phone.
Oh,
You will come back.
no,
Let's go on phone and
Let's
come.
go on phone because
I am disenfranchised.
Kweku Kwating is
You are disgerminated, not
member of
franchise.
Parliament for Obuasi West. He's also chairman of the Budget Committee of Parliament. And Professor Bafo Ajimendia is a governance expert. Good morning, Honorable Kweku Kwating, and good morning, Professor Bafo Ajimendia.
Well, good morning to you, and good morning to our listeners.
Great. Let me start off with you, the Honorable Kweku Kwating, because this is a conversation that we've had before, particularly when issues about the procurement of vehicles for MPs became an issue in 2021. You've always taken a position that the state should focus on serving the interest of the people and not, the interest of a few. What's your take on this conversation?
Well, thank you. To start with, I think the discussion about incentives for the political elite and the poor leadership, I think we provide, which is leading this country to what I see clearly as a gloomy future, is coming from a broader, unfortunate mindset within the general Ghanaian population. I think our society is becoming more and more selfish, and each wanting to live at the expense of the other person. And so when you are in a position to appropriate everything for yourself, you do so. That appears to be a culture that is getting worse and worse within the broader Ghanaian population. And our leaders are reflecting this in leadership. I would make a point why it is in the interest of the political class to fix this problem. It's in our own interest and that of the country to fix this problem. But before I do that, and I'll do that briefly, if you have a population where, as I have indicated, it's a dog eat dog, and you have leaders that reflect that in political leadership, it is magnified at that level because in political leadership, you are handling bigger resources. And so the petty thief or the small corruption by that teacher in that primary school may be overlooked. But once that teacher is elected into political office and will reflect that, then you see what we are talking about. I am very clear, as you have indicated, that as politicians, we are providing the wrong kind of political leadership, and it is leading this country into danger, and that danger, we, the political elite, will be the biggest victims unless we change course. Now, I say that because the current situation is unsustainable. A country called Ghana visiting the IMF 17 times, we mismanage our resources, and you see all the wrong things we do, and the wrong expenditures we do. The resources are not even money we have generated. You borrowed resources. Now we'll get to a point where the citizens would no more take this. And that's the reason I presented my discussion in this way is to call for action. I mean, we could discuss elements of this, what you have started this morning about car loans. And look, if the mindset is wrong, we'll tweak things here and there, but fundamentally, we'll be doing the wrong things. There's a need for some radical change. A certain status quo that I keep saying must be confronted and disrupted. Otherwise, we're all heading for doom. This attitude by political leadership, in my view, is deepening the impression that our democracy is working for just a few, the political elite and the associates. And as we did the campaign, especially the last campaign, you visited places, especially the youth, and they look you in the face and say, "You people," and they say that with venom. And when you look at the outcome of the result, even in the strongholds of the opposition, it tells us clearly that Ghanaians generally are beginning to look upon their politicians with more negative attitude and posting an unstable future for our democracy. Now, you ask, what then should we do? If I'm answering the question to wake up the politicians. If we continue along this path, our democracy won't survive. It won't survive. And what we're going to see is the replacement of our democracy by something that will be worse. Post 1992, it looked like we had no appetite for the Soja people. And at that point, if anybody had said that a time was going to come where Ghanaians could even contemplate military leadership, political leadership being better than the democracy we are having now, many would have doubted it. But today is the reality. I think in order that we the politicians would not suffer this, we must first lead by example. And once there is that awareness, and I know it has to be sparked off by politicians, the political class itself, we must lead by example and build an image of integrity. It is not idealistic. It's happened in many places. I think it is possible for a critical mass within the political class to begin to push for real change. And as a politician in parliament, there are many of us who are uncomfortable with the status quo and the way we do things and the way we apportion incentives to ourselves. Even when the president has not been given power, parliamentarians want to surrender that power to the president because somehow you need one favor or the other from the president. It is this mindset that, for me, must be confronted. And if we were to be able to do that, then we can turn around with integrity, and I think I made this point sometime last year, and begin to crack the whip on the general citizens. That this is where we draw the line. We can no more continue like this. So if we are leading by example, if we are purging ourselves, then you, the citizen, will not be allowed to disrupt the progress. I see this as the only path, and I know other speakers are going to come in. I would hope that we begin to discuss what would trigger that movement within the political class. If we are lucky to have a Link-1U, or to maybe a smaller extent, a Margaret Thatcher, that would, as a person, lead such a crusade, we will be lucky. But if we're not going to get that, we should begin to discuss how we trigger that process within the political class, because that is where I'm sure the solution can start from. And once that starts, look, a lot of the matters you are discussing will fall in place. If we don't do that and we focus on attitudes here, incentives here, and disincentives here and there, trust me, a smart politician or a smart set of politicians can easily alter the arrangements in a way that for the optics would appear like a change, when in reality, people are doing a lot of wrong things and continue to plunge this country into the danger that some of us foresee.
If you just joined us, you've been listening to Kuf, of course. He's been sharing some of his well-known views about how the political elite have the wrong mindset when it comes to leadership. Of course, this has all been sparked by a conversation about perks and incentives and benefits that go to public servants and political leaders like MPs and so forth. We also have Professor Bafo Ajimandria joining us on the line. He's a governance expert. Prof, thanks for your time. So the thinking behind paying public officers as well as we do in Ghana is that we don't want them to be tempted to dip their hands into the coffers. Is that sound reasoning? Can you pay someone, to be honest?
Thank you. I don't think you can pay someone to achieve that you just. First of all, how we develop up in terms of the family you come from, the experiences, the exposures that shape your own worldview.
Prof, we have a bit of interference in the line. I wonder whether we could have you reposition yourself slightly and see if we get an improved line. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see how we go from now. Yeah.
Do you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
And I have the feedback myself. I don't know what.
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, good. So I was talking about how we all come to public service, the background with which we come to the service. Let me take off from what my good friend Kojo Yankson said. And I think he made some very important points, giving us a broad context of where we are. You see, whenever a people consume more than they produce, and whenever living generations leave behind less than they inherited, then you're going to have a serious problem. And what will make it worse is that in that situation, the political class has to reward themselves. So what you are facing is a country that is not productive, but we consume a lot. And indeed, the political class is demonstrating they are more in love with consumption than production. That is why what triggered this conversation about one person ordering a cab who elected 600 or 250,000. Okay, so we have a situation where we have poor economy, and people are not giving themselves the time to think through how we break through, so that all Kenyans, or at least most of them, can also be cushioned by rather the purpose of itself. So, if you look at the political system, you may find answers. And I think the over-concentration of power at the center of our political system is an issue we need to examine and do so very quickly to avoid the danger that Boateng foresees. And I think that is you see, when you have a political where you practice winner takes all, so your people sit, the opposition sit on the lines, 8 years they come in, and they will tell you they are hungry, is the act. Then you know that there is something fundamentally wrong with our system. We have what we call a top-down democracy. And again, when people talk about Ghanaian success with democracy, it's not. We have been successful only because we conduct elections, of course. Occasionally there's violence, by and large, successful, and we change government. And I remember in time ago, I made a point that I personally do see the difference between the two dominant. We are different. They are different when they are teaching. They are the same. That's exactly what it is. Okay? So we have to consider changing the political system to limit the extent to which those at the center can cooperate to themselves. The real productivity, in terms of the benefits of the narrative. You take the parliamentarians as you've been talking about. Besides the common fund that they have 5% share from their country, which they don't account for, and somebody will say parliament check balances, have to take accountability. They don't check. They are paid, and yet to perform their duty as parliamentarians in sitting on committees, they take a lot. And rest, we know that they are ordered something to protect a provision about shares of that. It's a free money they give to themselves. Then on top of that, a ruling party will appoint the president was involved. And here is another case of a serious conflict of interest. You are in an institution oversight, state agency, and you become member of the board of those agencies. How do you effectively supervise that? And nobody is present there. So if you are participating, you are the finance committee, and they put you on the board of management, how do you change that? Then, of course, they have the privilege of taking loans as end of it, the 40%. So, you see, it's become more of self-service rather than public service. So, I think we need a radical, and I think that what we're starting with the two is true. After barometer over the past year, I indicated rising support for military and the for democracy. Nobody is arguing that that's the way we should go, but we're arguing that we need to take steps to avoid that possibility. Okay? And for me, the parents in Burkina Faso, whether we like it or not, it's inspired a lot of African people and beyond. Okay? It's inspired a lot of people. So if we want to maintain that, then we have a job to convince our people that this, in fact, the path we need to. But now with this kind of behavior, that elite seem to be displayed.
Right. You know, if you just joined us, we're talking to Kweku Kwating and Professor Bafo Ajimandia. We're talking about leadership and the attitude of leaders and whether or not we're helping by insulating them from the problems we require them to solve. We're going to take some messages. When we come back, we start to ask about solutions. So Kweku Kwating has indicated that at this point, our best bet is to have some transformational leader of the Lee Kuan Yew ilk, or perhaps even Margaret Thatcher, to come in and from the top set an example that changes the attitude of leadership all the way down. Okay, well, where do we get such a leader from? Where we have a partisan political system that puts people in office who by the time they get there are in debt to those who kept them afloat while they were in opposition. Let's discuss the solutions when we come back from these messages.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My
confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal Toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Building or renovating? Look no further. At Interface Limited, we have everything you need to create stunning spaces.
Transform your interiors with our top quality plasterboards, acoustic ceilings, and cement boards.
Step into style with our exquisite laminate and engineered floors. And for your data centers, durable raised access floors.
Elevate your outdoor spaces with our WPC decking and fencing.
Protect your home with our beautiful and reliable roof shingles, insulation, canopies, and PVC fascia boards.
Add a touch of elegance with our beautiful POP cornices and roses.
Quality, affordability, and style all in one place. Building a better Ghana, one space at a time. Visit www.interfacelimited.net or call 0274 999 999.
Welcome to Spintex Plaza, where living and working blend seamlessly.
Spintex Plaza, the place to be. Furnished apartments feel so free.
Imagine coming home to a luxurious furnished apartment with everything you need.
Rooftop pool, swim under the sky. Rooftop bar where the good times fly. Rooftop gym, get fit and strong. Spintex Plaza, you can't go wrong.
Spintex Plaza, your home, your work, your lifestyle. Come see us today or call us on 0241 327 363. www.spintexplaza.net.
Say donut, 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 donut. Hey, donut, 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 donut. Donut, donut. Then come cut up donut. Donut, donut. Malaria super donut.
Everybody follow not sa malaria. A 3D no not now. Won't malaria chill. Popo. What win the day? I want the no not. A dabako. No not. A damienu. No not. A damiensa. No not. Malaria super donut. No. Lonat scatter malaria. Lonat ide scatter malaria.
A quality product from Blaze GVS Pharma. Yenshishemu hu se malaria wa wumujam ansana wanum Lonat. Na nam yensearch na malaria no daso wo ho ko hu dokota.
This advert is FDA approved.
TCL's champion deals are here and they are big and bold. Buy 50-inch, 55-inch or 65-inch TCL QLED Pro 4K Smart Android TV starting from 7,999 Ghana cedis and get free 32-inch TCL TV. Buy TCL 75-inch, 85-inch or 98-inch TV and get free 43-inch TCL TV. The bigger the purchase, the better the deal. Buy TCL 115-inch QD Mini LED 4K TV and get a free 85-inch TCL TV. Discount so huge you feel like a winner. Looking for TCL refrigerators, washing machines, water dispensers, audio soundbar and more at cool deals? Rush to TCL showrooms and authorized TCL dealers in Ghana before stock runs out. Terms and conditions apply. TCL, inspire greatness.
Morning Show. Welcome back. We're having a conversation with Kweku Kwating and Professor Bafo Ajiman-Dua. Kweku Kwating, of course, is the Obuasi West MP. He's the chairman of the Budget Committee of Parliament. And Professor Bafo Ajiman-Dua is a governance expert. The conversation is definitely about governance. It's about leadership. And it's about the attitudes of our leaders and how we can actually reverse them to get them to be public-minded. Right? To put public interest in front of public service in front of private interest. Okay, we're going back to the conversation, and Mr. Kweku Kwating, you make this point about what it will take to turn things around, and your suggestion is that it must start from the top. We need a leader who is transformational in attitude and nature and in deed, not just words, who will then have a trickle-down effect on the rest of leadership. Question is, where on earth will we find such a leader when we still have a winner-takes-all system that puts in place governments and leaders who owe such huge debts to those who kept them afloat while they were in opposition? How can a transformational leader emerge from such a system?
Well, in theory, I would say that it is not something we can work at, producing that extraordinary leader, such an extraordinary leader. You see, those leaders across history, across different countries, they come once in a while. If you are lucky, they just appear on the scene. And it is entirely possible for us to elect a politician who goes through the corrupt system, becomes, say, the president, uses the power of the state to fortify himself, and then tells those who financed him, the country first. That is, yes, I know you financed me, you did all that, but you did that because you wanted to put me in a position to fix the problems we have. It is not impossible to have that situation. Maybe we should pray a lot more to get a leader like that or somebody close to that who goes through the system, gets power, but turns around to say that it can't be business as usual, and make sure he protects himself sufficiently to be able to drive the changes they want. We should remember that those examples that we cite of other countries, some of their leaders also went through their political systems. And it was thought that you can never produce a transformational leader with a system like that. But in the end, if you pray hard, you may well come up with a leader who can do that. But I mentioned that not so much as part of the things we can do, but just to reflect more clearly the problem I was discussing and how we can get we could get out of it. But in terms of what we can do, even if we cannot have such a transformational leader, to slow down the deterioration or to improve our chances of creating a better future for our children, I will speak to two different sets of people. First, to my colleagues politicians. Look, the current system, the status quo is unsustainable. The way now the citizens are beginning to show us, and it happened in the main election, unprecedented, where people are just saying, even the base of political parties are telling their own political parties that we don't care whether you win power or not. And they are just refusing to go to the polls. That is a beginning. It is a beginning of the expression of anger. I don't see in the last election really any landslide endorsement of any politician. When you look at the results across the regions, the traditional strongholds of the parties, and how people are just refusing to go and vote, even for the opposition NDC, you go to the voter region, and the votes President Mahama got in the 2020 election was more than 2024. What it means, and I don't say this in any way to criticize President Mahama or to water down the victory he got. The point I'm making is, if a person in opposition, someone can vote for you in 2020, you are in opposition. And in 2024, the person says, look, this system is not working anyway. I won't bother to go and vote. Then it reflects a certain dynamic within the general population that all politicians must take note of. So, to make the point that the current system is unsustainable, and if it explodes, the politicians, we will be the biggest victims, will be the first victims. So it is in our interest that enough of us come together to seek to make those changes that people want to see. Hopefully, maybe that would slow down the deterioration and buy us more time within which maybe we get a transformational leader I was referring to. But That's the first audience I'd like to speak to on this. To my colleague politicians, if you're listening to me, the current system is unsustainable, and if it explodes, we are the first victims. So we should act not because we love Ghana. We should act because we do not want to be victims of people's anger. But the second is to the citizens. You know, I think people get the leadership they deserve. All right? If we are getting all these generations of politicians after the other, and they are all the same behavior, irrespective of the political parties, the same is behavior. You elect people into office a couple of months and you begin to hear very unfavorable stories. And let me tell you, you should be asking yourself as a citizen that how come that as a people over decades, these are the only kinds of people we produce. So out of the point that people get the leadership they deserve, I think civil society, the media, and Ghanaians generally must also begin to put more pressure on political leadership. And it's not a theoretical point. Look, if TUC, for instance, if there was a bad political decision, or right, if you looked at a policy and said, look, this incentive for the political class is wrong, whether it is ex gratia, whatever, and we think it must stop. And it is the reason we are calling a strike. It is not that we want more salary. We just want to secure the future of our children. And so we are calling a strike until you change these political decisions. Why can we not have that kind of civil society? Why do we just assume that people are so powerful that no matter what we do, that is how it would be? As soon as people begin to think like that, then they deserve the leadership they get. So my closing point here as to what we can do as citizens is that we should begin to care more about the wrongs that are happening. And let me close on this. See, now we're not just mismanaging our resources, all right, as a country. You will see that we are now mortgaging future resources for consumption today. So we go to borrow and we say that we tell the lender that we know we now do not have sufficient credit rating, if you permit me. So the way you can be sure that you get your money back is that give us the money today for consumption, and we would mortgage future resources. And this has been done across the political parties. What we are doing is that not only are we creating indebtedness for future generations, we are also arresting their capacity to pay off the indebtedness. Now, you think this would go, if this would go on forever, and if the TUC, if they are listening to me, civil society, you, the media, we must face the fact that it is not just Galamsey that poses an existential threat. The mismanagement of our society is gradually driving us into a stage where our society may be disrupted in ways we do not want to discuss. So I throw it back to you and the citizens as well, that whilst, yes, we advise ourselves as politicians, and there are many people within the political class, look, who agree with some of these points that we make, but are not sure that the system is ready for that, and that if you step forward to make these points, you may be victimized, and the masses will stand by and let you be roasted. So as a matter of self-preservation, you just want to be part of the system, get whatever you can get, and hope that somehow God takes care of the future. I think if citizens begin to be more active in non-partisan ways, in ways that reflect a love for the country and the future, hopefully it will put a little more pressure on politicians. And then we will begin to see some of the changes we want, or at least it would buy us time. Wow. We wait for that transformational leader from God.
Well, Prof. Wow, it's a scary thought that our only hope of transformation is luck. But we do have a system that you described as winner takes all. It's a system that corrupts. Really, what can we do to speed up the arrival of this Messiah? Or should we start considering independent presidential candidates?
Well, in my humble, none of that work. And by the way, I have to say, fully associate myself with this Bible, except that he landed on that business that we wait for transformation with God. Because that will reinforce the notion of the answer in our helplessness. Only God can do it. But you see, God helps those who help themselves. We can pray all we can, fast all one. Nothing will change unless we as people decide and take as the fact. You see, just a quick one following our previous conversation. I wonder that for the past 30 years of our report, I've been trying to figure out one reputable national project that we can say, yes, this indicates some advancement for us. One, we cannot even build our roads. I don't know which part of this country has good roads. We tend to maintain all roads and resurface them. And even then, we don't do it right. So, look, it's a serious issue for Kuha's way. And that's why I say I really for that insight. Now, coming directly to your question, what we have, I think that we need a very radical rethinking of our political system. One, we have to seriously look at having a unified vision for the nation. We don't have it. The Constitution created NDPC to provide guidance, and it's a sham. Just a few days ago, our president reconstituted the committee and put a great young guy, friend, Nimoy Thompson, as a chair. He was there during the first term of the president, did a fantastic job, produced a 50-year plan with pictures and design for how Ghana can look like in the future. Once government finished, it was decided. So I don't know, no matter how the new work this time, and if the government changes, whether it be relevant. So in other words, I'm saying that we don't have a unified vision. And you can only have a unified vision if we abandon it. Let's say this winner takes all divisive system that we have. Once you are in power, all the opposition does is to hold press conferences and destroy you, even if you are doing good, and vice versa. That's why we have developed the pulling down thing about our politics. So we need unified. Then we should also seriously consider longevity. Once we have that vision, there must be a longevity issue that we need to address. Should governments come in 4 years and go, 8 years and go, wherever? And I'm saying, because if you look at all the countries we like to cite as examples, as models that we want to learn from, Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, and a few others, you notice that in and even China, there's a longevity aspect of their development. So we have a unified plan, unified vision, a national development, and for 20 years, consistently we worked at it. It didn't just fall from the heavens. people plan and work at. And the third leg is what we all know. Integrity that comes with the leadership of that unified system that we think we should have. Because then brings in the discipline. If you look at Singapore, Malaysia, or not, recently a minister of transport or so in Singapore was put on trial. You see, so this divisiveness is not taking us anywhere. So frankly, very blunt, we need to agree to have a union government for the next 20, 30 years. Otherwise, the political elite will be playing this game with this country, who will be dead and gone, and nothing will happen. Kojo Yankson made an report. The next generation, we are consuming their future. And he said it right. I've made that one before. When living generations are mortgaging the future for money that they get today that they do not even apply properly. How come our roads are? How come our businesses are like? How come our schools are like this? And yet you go and borrow all of it. Where does the money go? In addition to the revenue that they collect every year. You see, so for me, if we want a real change, we need to shift away from this divisive, this unbridled rivalry. So, the two parties are the same. They are all corrupt. They all rape the country. And until we change the system, the future seriously looks bleak.
Well, that's a thought-provoking note to end our conversation, but I want to say a big thank you to our two guests. Professor Bafo Ajimani.
Please, before you go, there's just one small point I want to make.
Right, we have 30 seconds, yeah.
Quickly, sure. This transformational leader, if we are to get it, for me, it would be the shortcut to development. Namely, you just get it and you can be sure that they will put in place the things we need to do to get the problems fixed. So I don't propose that as what we have to do to fix our problem. You cannot just wait and hope that comes. The things we can practically do are the 2 points I mentioned, and I reiterate them in order that my point will not be misunderstood. So yes, if we get transformational leader, that's good, and that will be shortcut. But else we haven't got that. I have made a point that the political class must understand that we are an endangered species if the status quo continues and that the current system is unsustainable. And then two, I think the citizens must be more sensitive to the wrongs that the political elite does and begin to put more pressure so that hopefully it will increase the internal conversation within the political class that we need to start making changes.
Right. That's an important clarification, and we thank you for that. We thank you also for your time this morning. Kweku Kwating is the Honourable Member of Parliament for Obuasi West. He's also the Chairman of the Budget Committee of Parliament. You also heard from Professor Bafo Ajimani, who is a governance expert. Fascinating thoughts, huh? Let's come back and wrap things up after these.
In recognition of Mental Health Month, join us for the Mental Health Forum 2025, a powerful free event championing mental well-being in Ghana. It's happening on Saturday, May 31st at the Accra International Conference Center, starting 10 a.m. sharp. Come experience moving stories, expert insights, and real solutions. Meet leading psychologists, change makers, and public voices, all coming together to say, your mind matters. Let's break the silence. Let's end the stigma. Let's heal together. Mental Health Forum 2025, Beyond Stigma. Brought to you by Premier Rehabilitation Center in partnership with the Mental Health Authority, Ghana Psychology Council, Joy News and Joy Prime. Proudly supported by the Ministry of Health, Vena Mineral Water, Dyson, Compute Ghana, Bistro, Le Magela, Save Bond, De Cafe, Polo Club, Gourmet Gardens, Premier 369 Limited, and others.
Sasso, kume tonton preko. Sasso, kume tonton. Sasso, Missy Kumenton Precon. Oh, Kumenton Precon. Sasso, Kumton Precon. Nani Shamne dear, a demonstranco.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, I am Teacher Jane. Are you Eric's mom?
Yes.
Well, today in class, he kept challenging me about a certain point for more than 5 minutes.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry, Mommy. I love his confidence. Our world needs more people who can speak up. So well done.
Oh, thank you. Confident, curious kids will change our world. Nido, especially formulated with iron, vitamin C, and A. Nido, your love, their future. This advert is FDA approved.
Kids, no running. They grow up so fast.
Come here, guys. Who wants to watch their favorite show on GoTV?
Your family's favorite moments are made better with GoTV's shows. We've got loads of local, international, and kids channels, and all the football you need from the comfort of your home.
You can also watch your favorite shows wherever you are with GoTV Stream. Stick with GoTV and let's go together. GoTV. Love it.
You're welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show on Joy, and we've got even more conversations up ahead. But first, listen, are you ready to dominate Twitter trends and own the digital conversation? So whether you're a corporate powerhouse launching a product, or perhaps a political figure shaping national discourse, or a brand building your public goodwill, the Brands people bring you Africa's #1 Twitter army. Okay, they don't just chase the trends, they create them. From brand amplification and CSR buzz to political relevance and image elevation. The Brands people get you seen, heard, and trending for all the right reasons. So don't whisper in a noisy world. You can command the conversation, shape the narrative. Call them on 0244 735 451. The Brands people. Let's go viral on purpose.
So I'm sure you have pictured yourself walking through the dazzling streets of Kuala Lumpur. Eh? But you were there, so
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go again.
Okay, now you should picture yourself, okay, walking through the dazzling streets of Kuala Lumpur, shopping at night markets, or lounging on the sun-kissed beaches. Well, get ready to turn that dream into a reality, because your superstation, Joy 99.7 FM, in partnership with Adeti Travels, is making it possible. Now, one lucky winner will win an all-expense-paid trip and join Akofa. She says her name is Akofa Batman.
Why?
Boy! In August, now, is the Escape to Asia with Akofa promotion. To be part of this promotion, you can call into Ignition from the 19th to the 29th of May and sing any of the jingles that will be played randomly throughout the show. One winner will be selected each day for the next stage. And it's going to be an exciting and truly rewarding. But look, hold on. You must have a valid passport to be eligible for this promotion. Escape to Asia with Akofa, rewarding loyalty.
I've been listening to the people trying to win the tickets on Ignition. Charlie, yenti singing school, ati.
Yenti singing school. Okay, it'll be nice. Yenti singing school and Kojo Yankson dancing school.
Yes.
K Waddle's dancing academy.
Roberto will give us the DJ in support.
Yeah, champion Roberto.
Yes. Now let me tell you about DHL Express and how they help you to simplify your shipping experience. It's your go-to solution for all your international shipping needs. Whether you're sending personal or official documents, gift items, paintings, cosmetics, clothing, dried fish, processed foods, or importing from Asia, Europe, the UK, the US, or anywhere in Africa, DHL Express makes it a breeze. All you have to do is to contact any of their main service points or individual outlets across the country, and your shipment will be processed, whether inbound or outbound. And with real-time tracking, you always know where your package is. It's that simple. Reach out to DHL and experience the ease of shipping. Visit their website dhl.com or call them 0244 485 176 or 0571 137 599 to learn more about their Express Easy service. DHL Express, excellence simply delivered.
All right, attention, Ghana. The green evolution is here. The green revolution is here. From the 11th until the 13th of June, the Accra International Conference Center comes alive with the Ghana Horticulture Expo 2025. Now, the nation's premier showcase of fruit and vegetables, technology, and export opportunities. So it's organized by the Federation of Associations of Ghana Exporters in collaboration with the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, and it's proudly supported by the Ghana Exim Bank, Fidelity Bank, Gersol, as well as Agromonti.
Agromonti.
Monty.
Mhm.
Right,
Yeah.
Yes. Agromonti and GIZ. Okay, so with Joy Business as the official media partner this year, the gateway to innovation, trade and partnerships is open to all. The highlight, of course, is the keynote address delivered by the president, John Dramani Mahama. So book your exhibition stands or register now at Ghana HortiExpo.com or call them on 0243 457783. You can also try 0535 224 555. All right, Ghana Horticulture Expo 2025, growing Ghana, exporting excellence.
Let me just do this quick birthday shout. Happy birthday! This one says from Kofi Danso Echampong. Okay, he says, "Happy birthday, my dear wife and mother of my adorable kids. You've been so precious and wonderful in my life. May the Lord reward you for your love and care for me and the kids all these years. Enjoy the goodness of God on this special day." Great. Okay, so let's continue. But also the Joy News proudly presents the top 10 impact makers, are extraordinary individuals transforming communities through education, health, girl child empowerment and innovation. So from after school programs in Kisaman to mental health advocacy in the Shanti region through to solar in the Upper West region, clean water projects, inclusive education, women's empowerment and more. These are the true agents of change in marginalized communities across the country. Catch their inspiring stories on Joy News as we honor the selfless individuals reshaping lives one step at a time. The Joy News Impact Makers Award is brought to you by MacDan Foundation, empowering futures, building communities. Gold Key Properties, transforming the landscape. MNC Group Global, totally reliant. German Ozone Medical Center, alternative therapy, dental wellness and beauty. Latest Film, your partner for life. Ghana CEO Summit and Expo, inspiring business leadership and economic transformation. Joy News Impact Makers Awards, celebrating ordinary people making extraordinary impacts.
And Winston, let me say happy birthday to Sylvia Akwahagan of the Republic Bank Accra from your family and friends. And also to Hajia Fauzia Karim from Abna Opokua Ahwene. Now, you know what Thursday stands for with MTN? Kojo, do you know?
Something free.
A lot of free. Yes. They actually make freedom and justice make sense on Friday. Now, every Thursday, MTN gives you a 25% bonus on your first data bundle. So you get 25% on your first data bundle every Thursday when you bundle on the My MTN app or use *138#. This and every Thursday. Now, that's not enough for you, Kojo. There's more. They're also offering a free extra movie ticket when you pay with Momo at the Silver Best cinemas at the Accra Mall and the West Hills Mall every Thursday. And for those in the Garden City, that is my own Osekrom, you'll get your free tickets at the Golden Cinemas in the Kumasi Mall. So Thursdays, if you want to see a movie, you buy one ticket, you get one free if you pay with Momo. And you get to enjoy with a friend or a loved one. And so your movie dates on Thursdays are sorted from now on with MTN. So set your reminders, bundle on My MTN or *138# and make the best of your 25% first data bundle discount. And visit the cinemas as well. Use Momo and get your free extra movie tickets on MTN's Yellow Thursday.
Nice. Free extra movie tickets. All right. Well, listen, spend some time at kingdomstoreonline.com this morning or this afternoon. Pick up some Top quality office essentials, equipment, furniture, and stationery from Kingdom Books. You can pay via Momo across all networks, and then they'll deliver to your home or office. Very quick delivery, and it's free if you live in Accra or Tema. Terms and conditions apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks. It's the Super Morning Show. More after these.
FPAC is effective for headaches and relieves the symptoms of flu, colds, and catarrh. FPAC blows away the pain associated with sore throats. During and after a hard day's work, FPAC relieves you of body pains. After the day's sports workout, FPAC helps the body to control the aching muscles. FPAC is effective against feverishness. FPAC reduces body temperature associated with malaria and other fevers. FPAC is effective against rheumatic pains. You can find FPAC in all pharmacy and chemical select shops throughout the country. FPAC is not recommended for children less than 16 years of age, ulcer and asthmatic patients, pregnant and lactating mothers. If symptoms persist for more than 2 days, consult your doctor. FPAC blows your pain away.
FPAC Junior follows in the tradition of FPAC tablets, a trusted friend to relieve your child of pain associated with teething, catarrh, cold, and fever. The good that FPAC does for you, FPAC Junior does for your child. FPAC Junior is for children between 6 months and 12 years. FPAC Junior blows your child's pain away.
Attention Ghana, the Green Revolution is here from 11th to 13th of June 2025. The Accra International Conference Center comes alive with the Ghana Horticulture Expo 2025, the nation's premier showcase of fruits, vegetables, technology, and export opportunity. Organized by the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters in collaboration with the Ghana Export Promotion Authority and proudly supported by Ghana Exim Bank, Fidelity Bank, Gesa, Agro City, Agro Monte, and GIZ, with Joy Business as the official media partner. This is your gateway to innovation, trade, and partnerships. And the highlight, the keynote address will be delivered by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama. Book your exhibition stand or register now on www.ghanahortiexpo.com, or you can contact 0243 345 7783 or 053 522 4555. Ghana Horticulture Expo 2025. Growing Ghana, exporting excellence.
The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair 2025. Dream it. Own it. Live it. Coming soon.
Right, welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show on Joy. Your messages have been coming through thick and fast. Kojo, what did they say?
Kojo and team, the Holy Scriptures say the worker deserves his due, but what we are seeing of our political elites is way overboard. Our leaders are demanding everything for free, or just pay peanuts for same services that their counterparts in civil and public services pay in full. Just think of a minister importing a luxury Lexus vehicle with import duties of over 600,000 Ghana cedis waived, with a request from Parliament to the Ministry of Finance, and he finally pays 3,400 cedis for it. For me, all these specs will swell the public expenditure. Such waivers, when abolished, should rather be channeled for services for the less privileged. Kwekwe no Fanko. And Nia Ite in Dakuman says, good morning. I think we will continue to find more problems and complain about the managers of our country. Please, we just need a restructuring of our constitution, and most of these problems will be diminished. This is because the current constitution is giving power to a group of persons to run the states, check and prosecute themselves when they offend the law. Please, most men are selfish and will even be corrupted by the current constitution when they are not, and we will never be happy with them. So let Ghanaians come together to push for change. Good morning, Winston. In other countries, you solve problems and you make money, but in Ghana, the politicians and CEOs make money and create problems. This is wickedness. This is from Yainteshi. This one says, please, let the panelists consider and differentiate between public political voluntary office remuneration and public technocrat service rewards. Paul in Ashalibotri. So Paul says the public political offices, they are more voluntary. We should differentiate them from the public technocrats service awards. So
would he say the boss of ECG, for example, would be a public technocrat
or a public political?
Yeah. Which one? See.
Even the chief directors of ministries and directors, when political heads change, sometimes they are all changed and reshuffle. So we need to seek for better. We need to seek for better. There's this post by one of our friends on this particular conversation, and it's in reaction to the vehicle issues. And I don't know if you have time to go through that. Let me share just a bit of that with you. He posted this on Facebook, that his problem really is that he says, I can support import duty waivers on cars for civil servants who are in limited supply, example, health workers, where we need to do extra to keep them from being poached by other countries. I cannot support such waivers on high-end vehicles for MPs and other public officials after we provide the car loans. There is no shortage of people seeking to serve in the legislature. Matter of fact, aspirants spend several millions to compete, so it's unconscionable that MPs would get waivers for their vehicles. MPs must live within their means like the rest of us. And let no one tell you that the citizens need to bear these costs because they are doing the people's work. We all transport ourselves in the discharge of our work, and our employers aren't liable for such huge costs. Even worse, a large chunk of our elected officials continue to practice as lawyers and other professionals and run their businesses while in office. Ghanaian citizens must wake up and stop giving the political elites passes in the name of partisan politics. Enough is enough. The new constitution must get rid of all these, he calls them silly perks. So we have true public servants in office. It's time for civil society to start drawing a line in the sand about key provisions that are non-negotiable.
Yeah, I think by new constitution he means review.
The one we are working on. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot to talk about. Let's keep the debate going. We thank you so much for contributing. We appreciate your thoughts on this matter. It's an ongoing conversation. I have no doubt we'll be coming back to it.
Yeah, but before we go, quick last birthday. This one says, blessed happy birthday wish to the maestro, the surveyor of everywhere on the pitch, Ghana's Iniesta, the smartest relationship manager, that's Reginald Lawson of GCB Bank High Street. May the Lord's goodness continue to be with you from all of us here at the Multimedia Group.
All right, and from all of us here on the Super Morning Show, we thank you so much for listening. Let's do it again tomorrow, Friday. Can't wait. My name is Kojo Yankson. I'm the morning man.
Winston Amoah.
And we also had Akoto Boateng and Emefa Adeti on the show. All right, it's 10 o'clock. Time for the headlines.
10 o'clock.
Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the Joy Headline News at 10. My name is Emefa Akosua. Let's begin. Now, squatters cleared off the streets and bus terminals at the new plant station at Seko are back to the same spot just a day after the AMA's eviction. The exercise aimed at decongesting the city was met with some resistance from the traders and squatters who